Usually we have two desires. One is coming late, the other is going early. Right? We all love that. No? Yeah. You're going out of the box. Right. So I'm so happy to see many of you coming back. And some of you I need to go to the shores to find them, or submarine, or somewhere around. So thank you so much for taking time. I really appreciate your commitment to travel all the way. I know most of you have traveled. I spent a lot of time interacting with you during the lunch sessions, and I'm so excited. And you all blessed me. People coming from Nellore, Ongole, Tamil Nadu, and even from Jammu and Rajasthan and from Bengal, friends. So I'm so excited, and please make use of this opportunity. Now we'll be having 3 sessions this afternoon. First, we'll go with the storytelling in design thinking. People have a lot of questions, like, when paper presentations, paper publication, I received hundreds of mails asking me, sir, should we write design thinking? How design thinking is linked to our subject? What is design thinking? Lot of queries. For that, we have a panel discussion. What exactly the research and what is the need of the hour, etc. And in between, we'll be listening to a wonderful keynote address. And I wonder, people congratulating me so well that as if the conference has been concluded. Please let me remind you all, it has just started. We have concluded only inaugural part, right? And people told me in our place, a workshop or conference starts with the inauguration, ends with the valedictory, in between we have good lunch. But this is not the scenario here. You will have a lot of takeaways from this place. So I assure you, you will all be very much enriched and blessed by these sessions. Now we have Dr. Ravi Saripalli, the Director, Center for Innovation and Incubation, Gayatri Vidya Parishad College of Engineering. For the last 12 years, this center has incubated more than 15 startups and filed more than 45 patents until date. And a big round of applause, right? I think a lot of Gayatri supervisors, scholars are here. I think you can do it in much louder way. I have a lot to read, but I'll conclude with the last paragraph. Dr. Ravi did his PhD in Innovation Management, Master of Computer Applications from Andhra University. We are so happy for that. And MBA in HR and GMP from IIM Bangalore. Thank you so much, Dr. Ravi, for taking your time. We are so blessed to have you. So may I request you to come up and take up this microphone and continue the session. Design thinking, storytelling in design thinking. A big round of applause from all of you. Big louder. If you found someone missing this morning, if he was your neighbor, just ping him once. Show some courtesy, right? Just ping him that the sessions have already started, right? Thank you. Over to Dr. Ravi.
Thank you. Am I audible in the end? Am I audible? Yes or no? Thank you so much. Present. Harvard University has introduced a course called Computer Science 50. I think everybody knows about it. Most of the faculty might have already gone through that certification and so on. That is one of the world's famous certification, and it is considered to be like a mother of all best certifications. This year, this university has introduced a ChatGPT, similar kind of ChatGPT. It is called CS50 GPT, exclusive to deal with computer science, coding, bug fixing, and deliver and implementation, everything. It would do the end-to-end scenario. And they introduced in parallel to the human teacher. Morning, Honorable Vice Chancellor was talking about how we are going to be replaced shortly, which is already began, which is already taken place in Harvard University just 3 months back. My dear friends, when AI is going to embrace this entire world in terms of the acceptability, a day comes when AI is going to introduce in the engineering services. A day comes when a prompt engineering is used for the 3D printing to produce some kind of prototypes or products and so on. Or when Industry 4.0 is completely implemented through AI strategy, that is when this world is going to offer only 5 jobs. The job number 1 is entrepreneurs, right, who start their own companies. The job number 2 is domain specialists and technology specialists who are going to tune and train the big massive models, massive language models, like what we are doing in LLMs. They would be actually ELMs, engineering services, right, the engineering models. The third job is more of a prompt engineering, which we have been seeing that. And the fourth job is more for a design thinkers. And the fifth job is all rest of the AI users. The world is going to be confined to these 5 segments. And today we are talking about the 4th segment, design thinker. Then you would be wondering, what exactly is the design thinking? I think from morning we have been deliberating. I think this is a time you should know and you should go deep into that. Design thinking, the true definition of design thinking is human-centered approach for an experiential innovation. Then the question comes up, what do you mean by experiential innovation? Experiential innovation should qualify on 3 parameters. Someone should desire for a product or service, qualify number 1. Someone should deliver in terms of technical feasibility, qualify number 2. And it should be having some kind of business viability. When these 3 parameters are qualified, then it is called experiential innovation. When experiential innovation is married with human-centeredness, heart, right, then this is called design thinking. Now, if I say this way, probably I think after lunch, it would be like a more of a theory session. What I decided is, today, the rest of the time, I'm only talking about stories. In every story, you would see these 4 parameters embedded somehow. And this is how we will actually cover the entire design thinking only through stories. And these are live case studies. These are real case studies which just happened very recently. Next. So before I start my simple story, you should also realize, I think morning someone was talking about it, so I thought I think I need to also mention this. Design is different and design thinking is different. Design is all about how it looks like, right? How you feel like. Design thinking is all about how it works. I think that is a fundamental difference everyone should understand, right? So if you look at it from a deep perspective, right? So when you are implementing design thinking, you should actually shift from an engineering mindset to some kind of design mindset, right? When you are thinking from a production mindset to some kind of customer mindset. When you are thinking from a marketing angle, you should actually think from a user experience angle. See, the kind of definitions are completely shifted. Engineering to design, and the production to the user, and the marketing to the customer, right? I think the experience point of view we need to talk about. That is what is the all design thinking. So let me explain these concepts in a story format so that you understand in real sense how this is actually working out. So before that, we all need to remember, I think we have been celebrating design thinking, but we forgot one person named, right? This person, everyone should understand what exactly this person is and what he has done for the cause of design thinking. He is the father of design thinker. Give him a big hand. His name is Jim Ernicho. I think he is the first employee of a company called IDEO. I think you all know this IDEO design thinking framework which you have been using in your curriculum, and he is the one who started it, but he is not a formal educator. He is never studied. He is a simple sculptor, right? However, he after some time, this company hired him as a designer, that's all, at that point of time, in 1960s I am talking about. That is the time Steve Jobs was actually started a company called Apple, right? Apple was actually building their own first Apple Lisa computer, but they were heavily focusing on the user interface. they were not focusing much on the mouse, right? I think now we are using mouse, right? They said, instead of we developing mouse, let's outsource this concept to a company called IDEO. That is when IDEO got a first outsourcing contract, and this person has actually taken over the mouse design concept, right? See the man, how he has actually started. He did not study a formal education. He is a sculptor, but still he started observing what are all the things around to start a mouse. By the time IBM is already having a mouse, right? But however, that is very costly at that point of time. It was costing almost like $400 during those days. And that original mouse, I think, which we were using in earlier days, right? The mouse used to have a front wheel, which we used to put a lot of pressure and move around on our table, right? That is how we used to work with the original mouse. This man said, if this is the case, everybody's energy is focused on moving that wheel itself. This is not the right way, because Apple doesn't want that kind of mouse to be developed. Then this man started going all over the places, and he found one place there. He found a small gaming kit that is called, right, Atari Arcade. Is a gaming console. He was closely observing. In that console, there was a ball. People were actually playing with the ball. As you know, that ball is actually gravitated with the force, right? The gravity, it works with the gravity force. It doesn't need a lot of pressure to be applied, right? So he said, I think if we have that kind of ball kind of situation in our mouse, probably I think gravity takes place. This is the first idea which he got it at that point of time. The second one day when he was observing closely, a mouse was walking away. Real mouse was walking away. When mouse was moving, it was moving just like that, and it is going to the destination. For sure, it knows exactly where to go. The delivery is guaranteed, but the destination, when you see the traversity, it was going here and there kind of thing. Then he said, same thing we need to apply here in our regular mouse also. People are not bothered whether they are moving very precisely at a point of a cursor. No, people will do this kind of thing. But ultimately, our focus is on the pixel, right? That is what he has implemented. So people would actually not bothered about how they move on the mouse, but because their mind is on the monitor, but at the same time, mouse works exactly the precise. These two concepts are integrated. Finally, the regular mouse, Apple mouse, has been invented. Today, the optical mouse which we are seeing is the invention of Mr. What's his name? Jim Erinchiko. I think always I forget Jim Erinchiko. Give him a big hand, please. So now I will go through very simple stories so that we'll start story session so that we understand where we are today. My story goes with one single line at this point of time. In 1950, Mr. Frank has no money. He has to pay the restaurant bill, but he doesn't have a cash. This was the problem. Finally, what is that he kind of created? He could able to create a credit card. See the kind of concept of the problem to an idea to how an invention or how a product or how a service has been evolved out. In 1960, Mr. John was unable to go to a bank during office hours. Immediately, he has invented a concept called ATM, right? In 1837, Alfred Bird was having his wife is having a penchant of some kind of flavors, right? I think desserts and so on, but she was allergic about egg. Immediately, he invented a concept called egg-free custard. The custard powder which we use is an invention of Alfred. In 1996, Will King was actually having a razor problem. I think the burning sensation issues and so on. Then immediately he started a company called King of Shaves Gel, which is predominantly used across the world today. See the kind of problem which is a source of idea and the solution which has come. If you see in every problem in this, the four parameters what we talked about, human-centeredness, the business viability, and the technical feasibility, and the human desiredness, all four parameters are qualified in this. Hence, they are called as a design thinking driven solutions. I am just giving an example so that you understand what I am talking. Let us look at a very practical recent example. Mr. Vijay Shekhar Sharma started Paytm and everybody is user of it, right? However, one day when Vijay went to a market and he actually did a Paytm, then immediately the vendor said, no, I did not get money. Then Vijay said, no, I paid it. Then that guy said, no. Why? Then he asked, why? I did not get an SMS. Then immediately he took the mobile and looked at the SMS has not come. Then he looked at the inbox, it is completely full. Hence, new SMS is not going in. Then Vijay thought, I need to introduce a new concept called phone call. However, in the busy schedule, the phone call was not happening. Then immediately he started thinking. Finally, the arbitrary box which you are seeing, Paytm Karo, the 25 rupees is been paid to so and so, which you are hearing today, is actually invention of Vijay Shekhar Sharma. Give a big hand to this. This is the design thinking. Some human centeredness, because the vendor is not educated guy. Vendor has to know that money has been paid. So that is what I think the concept of the arbitrary box which we are seeing is the design thinking way of doing it. Now there are multiple versions of languages and so on. This is a very interesting story. As you know that in India or across the world, every minute 6 babies are dying just because they don't have an access to the incubators, right? Not our incubators, startup incubators, real baby incubators I am talking about. Mr. Jane is an MIT student. Once she was traveling to Nepal, and while she was coming down, she visited a village, and in that village there was a person named Sunita. Sunita is actually a pregnant, and she delivered a baby, 2 months premature baby, and she went to nearest doctor, and doctor said immediately the baby has to be kept into the incubator. Unfortunately, the nearest incubator access is 4 hours away. But if a premature baby is being born, within 1 hour, incubation facility has to be given. Otherwise, baby would die. Sunita's baby has been died just because she could not able to access to the nearest incubator. Then Jane Chain really shook off. She is an MIT graduate, but she said something I have to do in India, right? Immediately she started thinking how I can create a regular incubator which is more affordable, accessible, and everything can be done. So in the process, she developed a polymer based incubator, right? It is like a regular cloth, like a towel kind of thing, which you can clean it, which you can charge it, and it actually lasts for 4 hours. The charging lasts for 4 hours, and just you wrap the baby, that's all. And this would only cost probably $200, less than $200. The original incubator cost is 20,000 K. See the kind of wide difference. Today, Jane Chain has saved more than 350,000 babies across the world. Give a big hand to Jane Chain. Fortunately, I think we are so proud. Jane Chain settled in Bangalore now. She has not gone back to US from that time onwards, and she is the proud Indian now. Give her a big hand, please. See the kind of human centeredness, the business viability, the technology feasibility, and what is that fourth one? Human centeredness, business viability, technology feasibility, and human desiredness. The 4 parameters are qualified on all these stories. Now, let me share another story, and you need to figure out whether it falls into design thinking way or not. This is again a real incident, took place in February 2018. There is a person named Karthikey Mangalam. He is a 3rd year IIT Kanpur student, and as part of collaborative exercise, he went to Switzerland. He was doing a project and coming back to India. And he was sitting in a flight, and the flight trajectory is Switzerland, Russia, Afghanistan, and New Delhi. That is the route it is taking up. He was sitting in the last row of the flight, and just 2 rows before, there was a Swiss passenger sitting. And after 1 or 2 hours, this Swiss passenger is developing some kind of nerval problems. The white foam is coming out, and lot of sweat is coming out, and this was a completely problem. Immediately, flight attendant came to that person and understood that there is a medical emergency. Immediately, she rushed to that pilot's announcement place and called all the passengers. Are there any doctors inside the flight? Fortunately, on that particular day, there was one Russian doctor who could able to, he doesn't know English, but he said, I am a doctor. The Russian doctor came to this person and diagnosed and found that he is a type 1 diabetic, and the insulin dabba which he supposed to carry here, right, the hook which he is supposed to carry, he forgot during a security check. During security check, you have to remove everything, right, shoes, belt, this insulin and all that. He kept it on the tray, and finally he boarded into flight, and after that he forgot. After 2 hours, that insulin was not going in. That is the reason he is developing this kind of nerval problem. And of course, eventually he might actually get into coma as well. Then Russian doctor is carrying a one syringe, the old type of syringe, but it is little automatic syringe. And this man is carrying a actually insulin. Unfortunately, the syringe was not actually going inside. This is a practical problem. Karthikey Mangalam is a 3rd year engineering student. He was closely observing the entire scene, and doctor was struggling, and that man, white foam is coming more and more, and it was not working at all. Then this boy immediately went to doctor and said, sir, is there any way I can help you? Then doctor immediate response was, are you a doctor? No, I am a 3rd year engineering graduate. Then how could you help? Please give me this. Immediately rushed to the pilot private space and called pilot and said, can you open a Google for me? Because Google is not opened for civilian passengers, right? So then pilot opened the Google, immediately typed the name of this syringe, and he downloaded the entire brochure and found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all that this one, and found in this particular syringe that a small spring is missing out. That's all. You see the kind of presence of mind. Design thinking is not engineering subject. It is a way of life. It is a new way of thinking itself. It is not a series of steps. It is not a methodology. It is not a process. It is not a phase. It is something like someone has to think about it. The inspiration should come from within you, right? So immediately rushed to that private, the announcements place and called all the passengers, can I have your ballpoint pens, which are push ballpoint pens? The flight attendant could able to almost collect 30 different varieties of ballpoint pens, and he started deassembling one after other, and he found one spring from each of them and sorted all of them. And he started going one after other, whether any spring would actually fit into this syringe or not. Finally, one particular spring was exactly fitting into this, and he picked up that and put it inside and ensured that it is going inside and coming outside. He rushed to the doctor and said, sir, I just made a makeshift product. You just need to push one side, suck that syringe, push it into the body and just bring it out. That's all you do. Don't do any experiments on this. Fortunately, that man also followed the same instruction, did it and just injected. After some time, everybody went to their respective places, and the flight landed. After 2 hours, the flight landed in New Delhi airport, right? So as soon as the flight landed, everybody stood up, and this man also stood up, the passenger also stood up, everybody stood up, and the Swiss passenger was looking this side and that side. And Karthikeyan went to that man. Oh, you are the person who saved me. I was barely remembering that. Yes, yes, I am the person. Then he said, are you a doctor? No, 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 I am a third-year engineering graduate. Then he said, I have a huge restaurant in Switzerland. Anytime you come to Switzerland, think that it is your second home. Please utilize that service, right? After that, that person was taken to Mandata hospital. Everything was taken care. However, the question to the audience today now is that fall under design thinking category or not? Yes or no? Does it that is fall in design thinking category? Why you are saying yes? What are the 4 qualifiers? The first qualifier is human centeredness. Is there human centeredness in this? Yes or no? Technology feasibility. Is there any technology feasibility in this? Yes or no? Okay. Business viability. Is there any business viability in this? Yes or no? Say yes or no. Okay. Then human desiredness. Someone desired for that product? Yes or no? However, it doesn't fall under design thinking because design thinking is not a big bang approach. I think I am introducing a new concept or new this one. It goes in multiple iterations. It should go through certain things. There is an empathy. Of course, there is an empathy from this Karthikeyan Mangalam. However, there is a lot of synthesis has to be done. Then the ideation should come in. Right? So many ideas you need to discuss. Then lot of iterations in terms of prototypes and so on. And testing has to happen. And it should actually create a big impact. The societal impact should be very big, right? If that is the case, then it is called as design thinking. It's a very ad hoc solution. It's a kind of out of box thinking, immediately solve the problem, but it is not going to fall under design thinking. I just want to introduce this story because not every concept or not every story or not every product or service is going to be a part of design thinking. Let me go with another story so that your concept is much more concretized. Let us look at this product. This is one of the famous products across the world, right, in terms of medical technology, MRI scanning, right? Having said that, MRI scanning is one of the best innovations forever, experiential innovations forever. However, you look at from a current generation point of view. What is the process of MRI scanning? Patient would sleep on that bed, and the bed would be pushed under the tunnel, and the lights would be off. The operator, radio operator would actually go somewhere outside. Nobody would be around you. A dim light would be there, and a lot of noise would be happening, and finally the scanning takes place, and you would be coming out. You would patiently go through this process because you are a patient. You are already having heart problem or you are having some kind of medical problem, hence you will patiently do this exercise. But look at from a 5-year-old kid, 3-year-old baby, when they are going through this process, what kind of impact on their psychological side? Parents won't be around them, right? And the lights would be off, and nobody will be in the room, and you will be out, and lot of noise. almost half an hour single person has to be there, and that too under a tunnel. MRI scanning failed from a design thinking perspective. There is no human centeredness. Though technology and human desiredness and the business viability, all that exists for last decade, but a design thinking perspective, it has miserably failed. Now, lot of design thinkers started working on this particular product, which is going to come in, not yet come. I just leaked this information because somebody shared this story recently, and the next version of MRI scanning is going to be completely filled with AR, VR technology. And when child can choose, I want to be under sun, I want to be underwater, I want to be in Alice in Wonderland kind of situation, so that it would be like a different experience when you are going inside. It's like a thrilling experience, it's like a thundering experience, right? So when you are into that tunnel and everything would be taking place, and 30 minutes it will be done, and finally you come out and your medical problem is resolved. At the same time, some entertainment is also given. Design thinking is all about giving some experience to that. There is a human centeredness, business viability is there, technology feasibility is there, and of course they are somewhat desiring for that product or service. So there is a subtle difference which you need to closely watch in, that is the human centeredness combined with so many parameters would actually qualify on the design thinking side. Let us go with another example so that your understanding of your design thinking should be completely stemmed out. This is again another real incident took place on January 18, 2021. Post-COVID second wave, there were so many lives lost, I think everybody knows it. And after that, Indian government has started so many rail, Samparka Kranti expresses, right? One of the, on January 18th, 2021, post-COVID second wave, the Samparka Kranti Express from New Delhi to Jabalpur, it just started around 6:30 in the evening, and in one particular bogie, only few passengers were there. There was a one passenger named Sunil Prajapati. He is a handicapped person. He is a BCom graduate. He was actually staying in he was sitting in a one side berth, and there were few other passengers, old passengers, and one lady and her brother and daughter. She is a pregnant lady, and she was sitting other side. Around 7:30 in the evening, Sunil Prajapati started taking his dinner. Immediately, you could able to hear a big noise, kind of shoutings, she was kind of screaming. That lady, the pregnant lady, was screaming like anything. Sunil Prajapati immediately closed the dinner box and went to her and asked, "Is there any problem?" Then the lady said, "My delivery date is given on 20th January. Somehow I need to reach by tomorrow morning to my Jabalpur, my in-laws place, and we have actually fixed my C-section. All that is been fixed already. Muhurtam is fixed. Somehow I need to go there by tomorrow morning. But this is a situation. How do you manage that?" Then that lady said, "No, somehow I'll manage it. Since the train is moving fast, maybe I'm getting this pain and all that. Don't worry." Then after some time, after 8:30 or so, again she started crying like anything. This time nobody can actually hear the voice also. Then Sunil immediately called one of his known doctors. She is not a gynecologist. She is an ophthalmologist. And he called and said, "This is a situation, what to do now?" Then the gynecologist said, "Can you open a WhatsApp video call so that I would examine something and figure out what exactly the decision has to be taken?" Then he opened the WhatsApp call and he showed certain things, and finally that lady decided, the doctor decided, immediately she has to be operated within 5-10 minutes, otherwise mother would die, baby would die. This is the situation. But she immediately called this, Sunil Prajapati called nearest station, which is Madura, which is 1 hour away. When he was peeping outside, if there is an emergency stoppage, the entire thing can be ransomed, because it was a deserted place and no light in the, at least in the visibility. That is a kind of situation. It's a dark jungle outside. Sunil Prajapati has decided something I need to do. The doctor said someone has to become a doctor, otherwise both would be at a risk. But other passengers told, "If you take this job, probably I think you would be behind the bars if something goes wrong. Will you take the risk?" Then that Sunil said, "God has not given me anyway, I'm a handicapped person. Let me do something. If there is a risk, I will take the risk." And the doctor said, "I require two things. One is a blade is required and threads are required immediately." You know what, blade won't be, the knife won't be available at that point of time, right? So immediately, fortunately, there was an old passenger still carrying the old type of Swiss blade type of thing. The blade is available. Threads are required. See the kind of presence of mind. Design thinking is not in education. Sunil immediately rushed to his bag and opened his old towel, started plucking the threads from that, right? The threads are ready. Then she instructed one certain things one after other. He just followed them, and bare minimum stitches been done. Baby is been removed, and police were alerted. Team was alerted in Madras station. By the time it reached Madras station, immediately crew came in and they did the first aid and they took them to the nearest hospital. Both mother and baby, both are saved, and next day morning Sunil became a national hero. Give a big hand to the Sunil Prajapati. Back in 2009, you have seen the movie called Three Idiots by Amir Khan as a rancho, and a similar situation was there in IIT campus, right? That night, I think Pia was the one other side. She was on the video call. She is a dental doctor or something, and this person was getting some instructions, and the night was completely marooned because of the heavy rain, and they brought the car inside, they removed the battery out, and they powered the battery with this vacuum cleaner. Somehow baby has been removed. That was a story. That was a real story, and we all clapped. Very big clap. Now Sunil has done exactly same in the real scenario. Give a big hand to Sunil first. Now, if I ask the same question, will it fall under design thinking category or no? There is a human centeredness, of course, but does it fall in design thinking? Yes or no? No or yes? No or yes? No. Thank you so much. I think you understood the design thinking, because some extent, as I told, certain phases, not in a sequence, but at least some process has to be taken before a product comes out in the market. Let me take another example so your understanding of design thinking forever permanent. This is the recent story. Don't quote it outside, but I think still the case study has been not out, but I think it is a very wonderful case study. There is a company in the recent times, they started a washing powder for a rural woman. Today, urban people are already having washing machine. They are using multiple washing powders, right? Ariel and so on. They are already working out. But you see, from a rural angle, these women are actually meant for so many jobs, right? They have to take care of the kids, they have to raise the kids, they have to do all multiple chores, and they have to go to the field, they have to cook, they have to wash, everything they have to do. Their productivity has to be high. Today, 20% of their time is spent on washing the clothes, and it is taking a considerable amount of time. That is the real problem. Then the company told, we will actually do a lot of R&D in this particular space, and for half of the time, because there is a soaking time, right? I think you pour a little detergent and you put them for soaking for some time and all that. That time has to be reduced by 50%. This is the target they made. Finally, after a lot of research, they could able to deliver this product, right? I think the detergent was actually working out, and it is actually came down, and price was almost same, or in fact less than the original price also. Then they made a wonderful marketing and all that, and the product went viral, and everything was taken care. That was done. First 2 quarters, the sales were zoomed up, and the company was very happy. After 3rd quarter, the sales started dipping slowly. Company went into shock. Then they called for 2 design thinkers. See the role which I am introducing now. This is the new role which is going to come up in every organization. They called, we require 2 design thinkers. They should not be from a production team. They should not be from an R&D team. They should not be from a supply chain team. They should not be from a very academic team. I think they should be completely out of box kind of people. That is how they recruited 2 design thinkers. And they asked, you need to figure out the root cause analysis for this problem, why our sales are dipping down. Then these 2 design thinkers hired a bike, and they started going village after village. They were kind of going, and they were only observing. They did not speak to one single customer. They were just observing village after village, what exactly happening during the washing process. And after entire trajectory, they came to company and said, we found the reason. This is the reason your sales are dipping. Then company asked, what is that? Are we doing something wrong with the product? No, your product is absolutely fine. Are we doing something with the pricing? No, your pricing is absolutely competitive. Are we doing something wrong? Yes, there is something wrong. Then they asked what exactly it is. Then these people told, when we were going to village after village, we observed one pattern, right? The pattern is like this. When all these women are coming to a common place, right? I think either stream or a well or some place, they all bring their buckets and they put their washing, the detergent little bit, and pour water and put their clothes inside and soak it for some time and keep it somewhere, right? After that, they come to one common place, like a Rachabanda type, and they start talking about husbands, they started talking about neighbors, they started talking about politics, and all the kind of discussion takes place, and immediately they go back and respective buckets, wash them and go away. This is the process. Now, what is your product is doing? You clearly mentioned, don't keep it for 30 minutes, you have to keep it for only 15 minutes, right? Now, the bucket is being kept only for 15 minutes, immediately they have to come back and wash and go away. What is that? Is you disrupted their cultural time. That is the only time in their lifetime is the happiest moment, it seems. They miss this social angle, they miss this cultural angle of these women, because every time from morning to evening, something or other problem for these women. Finally in the night, somehow the husband beats and he comes drunkard, all that is issues. This is the only happiest moment. You seized our happiness, hence we are rejecting your product. See, people would be actually thinking from that angle. So design thinking requires a human centeredness. That is what is missing in this. Though it is covered all parts of design thinking, a design thinker has to figure out that there is a problem in your human centeredness. Hence people rejected this product, and they actually closed the company also recently. Now I'm almost saying, this is the problem during COVID, right? The children were actually sitting like this when they were on the screen time. Middle-aged also like this. The elder people were happily watching and all that. Every parent, every teacher suffered with these three scenarios. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Do you think it lacks a design thinking issue? It is a proper design thinking problem or no? It requires an attention of design thinker or no? Yes, right? From a teacher's perspective, if you look at from an empathetic angle, from a teacher's perspective, there is something missing. From a student's perspective, there is something missing. From a parent's perspective, there is something missing. From all three, I think we cooked up during that time, and it became a real rejected product by many kids and by many teachers as well. I think we suffered. Today we are all assembling here, otherwise we would have been on Zoom at this time, and I will be talking and you will be going on, and you will be cooking and coming back, or you will be eating somewhere else and coming back. Finally, end when Stephen sir comes, yes, everybody is there, yes sir, yes sir, yes sir. I think we have seen during the COVID times, right? But this is actually, there is a personal connect. The human centeredness comes with, I think morning sir was talking about the head and heart has to be connected. If that connection is missing, somehow the product would not work. Like what I said for the detergent case, and that is what is going to happen. My dear friends and ladies and gentlemen, design thinking is not just, I just want to summarize what we have learned. Design thinking is a communication of innovation, absolutely agreed. But having said that, the art of innovation also has to be embedded. The user-centeredness, I think the human-centeredness part of, the experience-centeredness part of the aspects also should be embedded. And I also want to clear it off that a lot of people misspell or shuffle it, creativity, innovation, entrepreneurship, design thinking, very frequently exchange, and design. These are the 5 terms I think they exchange very quickly. No, creativity is part of, I think, doing something novel. I think thinking something novel is what is a creativity. Innovation is that doing something novel is what is innovation. When you club both of them and do for a business, probably I think it is called entrepreneurship. When entrepreneurship is embedded with some kind of human centeredness, you also think from a heart, not just from a mind, and also give some kind of product or service, then that is going to be more sustainable. The sustainability part, if you also add it, probably I think the entire design thinking culture on an entrepreneurship would actually come in. Thank you so much for, and wish you all the best. Thank you. If you want more stories, probably you can subscribe to my LinkedIn or to my mobile or to any of WhatsApp group. I think we have been sending every week 1 or 2 stories we are sharing, and probably I think we have a blog as well. I think you can go back to my i2itm.blogspot.com. You can take this and you can subscribe to that as well, or to LinkedIn you can connect me, and we are happy to share the all the stories, whatever we are writing, to our students and to the other communities. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful. Big round of applause. Thank you so much, Dr. Ravi. It's such a wonderful session we had immediately after the lunch. The word storytelling, I remember 35 years back at my grandmother. You know, we all know storytelling, that is the favorite time for all of us. And how many of you have enjoyed this session? Right, big round of applause again. Thank you. Thank you. May I request a token of appreciation to Dr. Ravi? Sorry. Yeah, you know, morning, it's all, I don't think so. The memento is there. It is done. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We would save some time. Thank you. In fact, I know this session would be really fruitful. And if you come after a couple of years, if one of your story adds to those stories, then we feel this storytelling session would be really fruitful. I hope. And are you ready for that? Yes? Yeah, it's common people and ordinary people doing extraordinary things just with that kind of thinking, right? So thank you so much. We enjoyed. And we are lined up for the next session. How many of you are happy today? I'm surprised you're thinking about it. Are you deeply immersed into design thinking? I just asked you a common question. How many of you are happy? How many of you are happy? So just give a shake hand to your neighbor and say, I'm happy because you are there beside me. Can you say that? I'm happy. Just look at their face. Some people don't look at the neighbor. I don't know why. You know, we are so busy looking at our Facebook than looking at our face in the mirror in former days, In 2019, I was in Brunel University. I was giving my keynote address at International Congress on communication technology, latest communication technology in London, West London. Many people said so many things. Nothing is left to me. I said, this communication technology connected us globally and disconnected us locally, right? We are connected to the globe, but what is the use? We don't look at the neighbor's face. So say hello to them. The purpose of communication technology must be connecting people, not just gadgets, right? So say hello, maybe in the evening. I'm so happy that you all made me kind of celebrity. People are asking me selfie and all that, which never happened. So many of you wanted to talk and discuss a lot of things. Be assured that I'll be here till 8:30 this evening. But the session will be closed by 4:30, but I will remain here. Yesterday I was here till 2 a.m. in the morning. This morning, not yesterday, today's early morning working for you. So if you have any queries, don't ask in between. The session is going on, someone is coming, sir, actually my RRM. You can listen to the session, no? You can think about RRM little later. Sir, actually what happened in my registration, my number is not there. Please help, sir. Please open online link. Fortunately what I'm doing is, I'm putting my name and writing my scholar's Ravi's number. Most of you are calling him. For everything you are calling him. A couple of days back, just day before yesterday, he was working so hard, our team. You must give a big round of applause to all my team members, all the personalized badges and how they worked beyond my comprehension, in fact. I was there, there is an American corner, I'm entering that space. So I went there from my room. And he was talking in two ways. One time he's switching off the speaker and one time he's speaking. I said, what? After the call. Then my friend Noel was telling me, one lady called him. What's the query? Sir, actually, I paid my money detected for a train ticket, but I did not receive the train ticket. Can you help me, sir? Will I get my money back? What TDRF can do with your train ticket? Tell me. Have some design thinking for that. That why depending everything throwing on us. Someone is asking Ravi for a train ticket. It's a common thing. Sir, fees we paid, sir. We paid. Fees got detected, but we did not get a receipt. That we can answer at least. But if your IRCTC made some problem, what we can do? Anyhow, I'm happy for trusting us. Okay, you're trusting us for everything. Right? Even for your problem. So hopefully we'll come up with a lot of design thinking concepts and all that stuff. Right, just an icebreaker because we have a wonderful, sir, toll free. Oh, toll free. We will come up with a toll free. This is one solution we have, sir. Will it come under design thinking, Ravi, sir? No? Toll free kind of thing. From heart? Yeah, human-centered? Right. So wonderful. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we have all tracks, 33 tracks. Your organization chairs are fantastic people. They are in touch with you. They have been following up and someone yesterday texted, sir, even for election, no one would do this kind of campaigning, sir. How many messages we receive, sir? How many phone calls, sir? To my surprise, when I started this portal to check, I paid fee. I registered myself because I am also a supervisor. And I received a call yesterday morning saying, sir, we are calling from TDR Hub. and you registered for this. Please be on time at 8 o'clock a.m. I said, no, 8 o'clock is too early. Will you give breakfast? I asked her. I said, no, we will provide lunch for you, but you should come at 8 o'clock. I said, why 8 o'clock? Program is at 10 o'clock. Why you're asking? He said, no, this is a new organizing thing, sir. So she is telling design thinking to me over the phone. So a lot of follow-up, and we really appreciate all their hard work. We are happy because of them, right? A big round of applause to all of them. And finally, we are entering to the main key point in any conference is keynote address. And I don't know how to introduce this gentleman. In a lot of a very big profile. And it gives me a great honor to invite Sri Sai Ram Garu to please come on to the dais. Actually, I will ask him, if you ask him what he is, he was holding a very big position in the corporate. Now he owns his own companies and is a big consultant. When we were talking, actually this particular theme actually coined by our Vice Chancellor on design thinking, trans-disciplinary opportunities and challenges. And then I asked who is the right person for the keynote address. Without thinking even for a minute, he said, you call Sairam from Bangalore. And he gave me the number. And of course, I delayed it for 2 days. I could not contact him because I was rushing to other family commitment and all that. But he was so kind enough, is very prompt in giving reply and responding. And we're so honored. Actually, is a big software industry personality, but still is a scientist in a way. He's a musician. He's a composer of songs. He sings on All India Radio Bangalore professionally, not, all of us are singers somewhere or the other, sometimes at least in bathroom. But, he's a professional singer, right? And he's a writer, he's an author, he's a coach, senior IT leader. Sir, I think I should stop here and you should continue. So a big round of applause to Sai Ram Balla Pragada Garu. Thank you so much for taking time, sir. We are ready to hear you.
Can you hear me? Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks for the introduction. That was quite a long introduction. No, I was in fact a scientist when I started, and when I left, I had the fortune of working with Dr. Kalam. Okay, so very, very fortunate to have been blessed with that opportunity. But today we are talking about design thinking. Can you get the slides up, please? Okay, so most honorable, right, Vice Chairman wanted me to come and deliver a keynote address. Like I said in the morning, it's a privilege and honor to be called back into the university which made you what you are, right? At an opportune moment. We are at an age, where it's time to pay back to the institutions or the places that made you. Trans-disciplinary challenges, opportunities. I have a very, very different kind of topic today. And when I was talking to Professor Stephen, he said, how about academia industry collaboration? I thought for a while that it is definitely something that everybody has been doing in different magnitudes, in different shapes, forms. But bringing in design thinking concept to the academia industry collaboration was very, very specific, right? So I'm a metrics guy. I'm a math student. I'm a metrics guy. I'm a computer scientist. So I will talk numbers, and we will go through the significance of that. So let me say what we are basically looking at, the coverage. I'll briefly touch upon the topic today, right? And the advantages, the role of design thinking with examples. How do we scale design thinking, right? Some of those numbers that you will see are already phenomenal, but to make it more appealing, right, there is a way we can scale it up. The applications of design thinking in the collaboration space, and I came up with a blueprint for the next 5 quarters on any academic institute which wants to tie up with the industry on how they can scale up the collaboration in a manner which will bring in thriving outcomes. So let's look at the topic. We're talking about the power of collaboration using design thinking. And I know we all talk about EDIPT as the abbreviation of design thinking, right? The academia and industry collaboration holds immense potential for innovation and growth. And this is true for any country, any economy. And we, in the past few years, thanks to all the great stuff that our Prime Minister Ji and his teams are doing, we are seeing phenomenal growth, right? Design thinking being the human-centric problem-solving approach has been playing and can still continue to play significantly pivotal role in fostering successful collaboration for thriving outcomes. And I'm talking of both the industry as well as the academia. Benefits can be speeded up. I will call it accelerated benefits, and there are 4. The benefits that where we can catapult the outcomes through design thinking is increase in research publications and patents, right? Higher commercialization rates of research outcomes, which is one of the key factors that every researcher who is putting an idea out there would love to see, right? Then we have improved quality of students and employability rates. Like I was mentioning in the morning, in one of my addresses in 2016-17, I was mentioning that we have to invest 3 months. And for the students from engineering college who come into the corporate lives, the 3 months becomes the extension of these 4 years. And hence, it takes that much more time for us to get them to deliver to our customers, right? So that can be upfront, brought in as hit the road running, right? And in fact, I was on board of studies for many of the autonomous engineering colleges, and I used to suggest to them that in the 4 years, if you can crush all the papers into 3 years and leave that 1 year, right, to the industry-specific projects, the students will be readily employable, and they will start delivering results from day 1. That is another way where we can see a catalytic benefit. Growth and development of industries. It's just not that we from academic need them, the industry needs us as well, right? And I'm saying we because I happen to be recently part of the AU as a professor of practice. So I'm standing on behalf of AU and trying to tell you both sides of the story. So let's look at, when we talk about the advantages, the metrics and numbers. Let the metrics and numbers speak for itself. Access to real-world problems and industry expertise. 87% of academicians report the access to specific industry data sets as something which can speed up their research progress. How many of you feel that's the case? You can raise your hand. If you were to have access to all the industry-related data sets, how many of you think it will speed up your research outcomes? Great. So we do have binds for that, right? And this is not me saying, this is National Academics which is saying 30% increase in patents being filed when you open doors of the industry to the researchers, right? The next advantage being practical application of the academic knowledge. We have seen, as per the Journal of Technology Transfer, 45% higher likelihood of commercializing academic innovations through commercial projects. Like VC sir was saying in the morning, right? Many of these researchers, many of the ideas fall dead at the university outgate because they are being pursued from an academic interest of getting your certificate or your degree. And while we do that, we do not see commercialization of those ideas because people don't know. People don't know that such an idea is there, it can exist, somebody will buy into it, somebody is willing to put the chips on the table and say, we are ready to invest and take it further. That would promote the researchers to pursue their ideas to the next stage. And 72% industry professionals value academic partnership, right? They need academic partnerships because a solution is not a one-time effort. It is a continuous innovation that has to be sustainable in the market. Otherwise, like we were discussing in the morning, many big blue chip companies have fallen apart today. They are being given the run for their money because the younger entrepreneurs are bringing out in more compelling, more cost-effective, more appealing solutions to the table. The third one is enhanced innovation and research outcomes. When we talk about, the European Commission has reported 35% in breakthrough innovation, right? Because of the academic and industry collaboration. We can see that when you collaborate, right, the publications that are brought out are having high impact because there are a lot of seekers for these outcomes. There are a lot of seekers who want to understand what evolution is happening in different solution spaces and problem spaces. Professional development, skill enhancement, adding on to the employability rate and quality of students. 92% academicians have reported the increase in their professional network. What happens then is when you have the research, people have the network of the industry at their disposal, their ideas are most of the time bought in. I can give you an example of my friend who is a professor at one of the autonomous colleges here, right? Because of his personal issues, he is an excellent algorithm writer. He is a maths professor. He writes wonderful algorithms, and he was being sought after by Malaysian companies for creating innovative solutions in the electrical and electronics space. But he could not go in, but we didn't have that kind of reach. I'm talking about 9 years back. We didn't have that kind of reach like you have today. So you are very fortunate to leverage on what Dr. Prasad Reddy Garu has done in the past few years. He has opened so many doors, and he has got lieutenants like Ravi, who's sitting here, right, opening continuously doors after doors for people to come and work, right, experiment, prototype with their solutions, and bring it out in the open. Enhanced problem solving and collaboration skills as reported by the university technology managers. And the last one is mutual benefit and societal impact. It's of no use if it is not solving real world problems. We are talking about design thinking, solving real world problems. So 20% boost in productivity as reported by United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. We've seen what COVID has done with an accelerated innovation where the entire focus was to save humankind. And thanks to all the thousands of researchers, pharmaceutical experts, healthcare experts who brought together, and of course, backed by technology, who have brought the catalytic impact on the lab to fab cycle, right? It was experimented, it was brought out from the lab to the fab, rolled out, and that's why we are here talking to each other today, right? And the last 4 years, the academic and industry collaboration at Andhra University, we'll see some of these numbers here, okay? 120 plus MOUs signed, right? We have a total revenue from industry tie-ups and projects at $2.8 million, right? It's a huge number, okay? Startups, we have 102 plus and growing, okay? We have 2,342 collaborative research projects going on, culminated, or in the process of being signed up. Research patents and publications, right? We look at 95 plus patents and copyrights, and 369 research projects, 4,329 research papers published. when you look at the platform for collaboration, proud to say that AU Incubation Center, built on 35,000 square feet, hosting your NASCOM and NASCOM's AI and IoT Center of Excellence, STPI Industry 4.0 and Next Gen Tech Center. You would be surprised to know that most of our industries today operate at Industry 3.0. And to move them from Industry 3 to 4.0 is a big, big experience. Big initiative which is being started by MIGHTY, that is the Ministry of Information Technology, right, and the STPI together. It's a humongous effort. But the question is, most of the guys who are working on Industry 4.0, whether it is at Bosch or Siemens or GE or GM, right, most of them are Indians. When they can leverage Indians to do what they're doing, which we call it proudly at Industry 4.0, the Prime Minister is right in saying, why can't they do it for us? And that's what in the morning the VC sir was saying, that we should go beyond, which only we can make in India. And we have the potential, right? If we were to put off all our WhatsApp and the conversations that are going on in this room, I can see some of them very busy trying to converse with each other on God knows what. And this is what stops the branding. When we don't know details about and the numbers about our own university, obviously you cannot go back out there in the open and talk great about the university, right? These data points you should take back and talk to people that, hey, so many great stuff being done in our university, right? The Center for Advanced Applied Biological Sciences and Entrepreneurship is also being hosted by AU Incubation Center. So can we, for the sake of the university that we are, for the great job that the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Prasad Reddy, and his entire leadership team and the admin and all the professors have done and the researchers, can we give a huge round of applause? Louder. But if you're not, then I'm taking it that you are sleeping. Right? The food was good, but let's hear it louder. Once more. Thank you. So let's look at the role of design thinking. If we were to sum up whatever we were discussing so far, using design thinking, you can create your brownies for faster closure to academy industry gap, right? For better innovation and growth. Better solution to real world problems because the academic knowledge and industry expertise can come together, right? And create the synergies for the best solution. Prioritize user needs because we are talking about human-centered solutions aligned with market demands. So let's look at some of the successfully driven DT driven academic industry collaborative solutions. We are looking at healthcare, and we can say seamlessly when the telemedicine picked up during the COVID times, and we are all, including myself, we are all beneficiaries of platforms like Practo, right? We did not have anybody to run to. You couldn't step out of the house. You are compelled to stay back inside, and you had, some of you had, like me, had old parents at home who couldn't come out. You were not with them. You were basically wanting to get them medical advice, and the only way was telemedicine. Can you believe that design thinking was applied between a medical institution, a renowned medical institution and pharmaceutical company to come out with this concept and how to push telemedicine? Okay. Similarly, in manufacturing, the automotive leader, industry leader, partnered with the industry researchers to come up with the sustainable materials to be used for producing the vehicles. The outcome was lightweight and eco-friendly materials, and the benefits of that was reduced carbon emissions. We are, like I was telling in the afternoon, we are not yet there as the country yet to leave carbon emissions being penalized, which is not the case in the Western countries. But just today morning, I was reading about green hydrocarbon, right? Being set up in a company as a academia industry relationship. Poonawalla is the company which is trying to set it up. So there are a lot of innovations happening, but this one basically led to reduced carbon emissions and cost savings, hence enhanced product performance. In education, the EdTech startup collaborated with academic researchers, and today we have the Baijus of the world giving online platforms to learn. I know we have had the lighter moments when we have felt that these are COVID batches, right? But take it from me, I have seen both the parts. I have seen both parts of the world where I have dealt with the non-COVID students and the COVID period students. And to let you know, I found the quality of the COVID period students better than in non-COVID students. You know the reason? The reason was convenience. I don't understand something, I go back and I have access to those materials, I can read it again and understand. Basically building stronger building blocks for your education. Energy, and when we talk about education, we are not limited. We are having shorter education courses, certification courses on LinkedIn today, which is basically bringing in capsules which do not need you to do a full-time course. If somebody were to do a merger acquisition course, they would have to go through an MBA, which is a full-fledged MBA. Energy, we go back to energy utility company that joined forces with the Research Institute for Renewable Energy Integration Challenges, and they brought out efficient energy storage and distribution solution, right? Which is another very, very interesting stuff. Financial services, yeah, I mean, even today after 5 months, I'm going around with 400-500 rupee notes in my pocket because nobody takes notes these days, right? I tried it at airport, he says Google Pay. I tried with the cab wala, he says do phone pay. So nobody is doing any cash transactions today, and we are ahead. If you look at the number of mobile applications being used by Indians, we are the largest market, largest. And thanks to all the great innovations people have done by bringing UPI into it. And then to Aadhaar, right, to link up the UPI and Aadhaar so that there is a traceability to the money that's getting transacted. So these are some of the design thinking that have been used in academia industry collaboration. Let's look at how do we scale design thinking. Any ideas? How can we scale design thinking? Design thinking, those numbers that we were talking about, how do we make it 2 to 2.5x? How could we do that, right? So this, I'm going to talk about how to do that via crowdsourcing. If we were to create crowdsourcing platforms where we call people to participate in ideation, and it is not my idea, people are already using this, right? Let's look at some of the examples. When you do crowdsourcing, you engage in diversity for collective intelligence. Diversity not from gender perspective, diversity from all backgrounds of the society, right? Diverse teams make better business decisions, achieving 87% better outcomes. And that shows that crowdsourcing can have a 63% increase in new product launches. It is just not new product launches, successful new product launches. Whoever went through crowdsourcing have had a fantastic roadmap to launch their product successfully. Generating a spectrum of ideas, right? Open IDEO, a crowdsourcing platform we were talking about, has engaged over 1 million community users, right, and members who are daily trying to come up with innovative solutions through exchange of notes using the platform. Of course, crowd validation. We often do not want somebody to validate us. But let me tell you, the moment you're taking selfies with Professor Stephen, what is the next step? You're putting it on Facebook. You're putting it on WhatsApp. Why? Because you are wanting somebody to ratify you're attending this, and you know some big person, a celebrity like Professor Stephen, right? So crowd validation is that. It starts there, but seriously speaking, if you are open to crowd validation of the concept by iterative feedback, right, and refinement, the survey that has revealed that 71% of organizations have found iterative feedback crucial for innovation because they need to continuously innovate to stay in the business. Otherwise, they'll be written off, right? Companies have reported 33% increase in customer satisfaction. So the customer satisfaction is very, very critical for them. You have been successful today, but when we talk about sustenance, success and growth come together. Talking about knowledge management, 98 years of university. I don't know where the knowledge management repository is. And how many of you know few of the facts that you don't know? Right? So the question is, do you know what you don't know? Obviously, the question is no. How many of you know that I'm from a batch of computer science guys, 100 plus of us who were picked up for this course to be molded into scientists? So Andhra University Engineering College has made more than 100 plus scientists, computer scientists, and employed them at DRDO, right? A lot of people don't know that, correct? And imagine, there are people who are still continuing, and some of my classmates are still at NSTL, right? But some of them who have moved on, like me, have made it big, right? And they have actually shown what they can do. So KM, the creation of the knowledge management platforms, the creation, the collaboration, the sharing, when World Bank can look at crowdsourcing to engage 1.5 million people, participants, and NASA Tournament Lab engages thousands of problem solvers because they cannot keep on recruiting scientists. They have created a platform called NASA Tournament Lab, and these problem solvers keep feeding inputs on different problems that can be solved. So that's the power of crowdsourcing. The fifth one is tangible and impactful solutions. 225% increase in innovation output using crowdsourcing. So that's why I was saying, if those numbers were 2 or 2.5x, how would you look at it? And people are being rewarded. Right now, as we speak, X Prize is a foundation which has been awarding billions of dollars in prizes for crowdsourced solutions and the global challenges. Right now, there's a 10 million 5-year rainforest competition which is on. You guys can use your, your ideas and go and put your ideas in there. There's a 4-year $100 million carbon removal competition that's still on. $15 million competition to produce artificial chicken breast or fish fillet alternatives, right? And as I speak, yesterday I saw $15 million competition being thrown open to kids to create a platform on learning to read, write, and do their arithmetic. And this is you can go to xprize.com and then look at various projects, various competitions that are open. You guys can come together, deliver your proposals there, and who knows, you may be one of those people who can get rewarded or picked up for the project. So crowdsourcing is a big, big way of trying to scale your design thinking and your innovative solutions. The applications, we will look at the power and usage of design thinking in literacy. And I'm not saying that this is somebody, when I mentioned design thinking, oh, design thinking, it's in our curriculum, but nobody's paying much attention to it these days. It is written off. Not really, guys. These are real world problems that were used, and all the 5 cases have 5 different methodologies and frameworks that have been used. Right? Literacy. IDEO's human-centered design, using this, it was implemented that we will have educational materials for visually impaired students in Rajasthan, right? And they have seen the impact of it, where 30% improvement in academic performance amongst visually impaired students and participants, right? Similarly, when we talk about the other societal problems, poverty. In poverty, when we look at the Stanford's D-School design thinking that was used as a use case to plug the gap in the low-income communities in Southeast Asia, Vietnam, Cambodia, right? They lifted over 10 million people out of poverty using this methodology, right? Then we have hunger, which is another big problem. I've worked at the world's largest agricultural company, right? And I know the problem statements they are given on a worldwide manner. They use the double diamond framework, right, where they saw the solution that they were following up with resulted in 40% decrease in food insecurity rates to the targeted neighborhood. The fourth one is digital literacy. We were talking about in the morning. They used IBM design thinking, where it led to 70% increase in digital literacy rates amongst participating youth in the identified region or city. But let me tell you, this is in the South African region. Okay? And the last one is inequality. Frog Design's collective action toolkit, the CAT, was used to create a solution where the gender inequality in rural communities through community-led initiatives was brought in from a platform perspective, and then they have seen that the inequality in terms of the salaries, right, were brought down. They saw 60% reduction in the gender pay gap and increased women's economic empowerment. The same thing was done in Mumbai, where they saw 40% more diverse leadership being adopted and accepted across the corporations. The inequality was the last of the 5 problems that I wanted to state. Now look at the blueprint that I created when I was doing this session, the preparation. The first one is discovery. Identify common goals and shared interests. And this is basically between the industry and academia. When you come together, when you target few of those industry biggies who you would like to have on board and you want to partner with, you can build a 5-quarter plan, which is a blueprint like this. So what you do by end of quarter 1, you have at least 3 workshops or forums to facilitate discussions and identify potential collaborative opportunities. And all these actions would translate into SMART actions. SMART means simple, measurable, achievable, right, and realistic and time-bound, right? So the SMART goals for the Q1 would be joint workshops, right? Getting the stakeholders, relevant stakeholders, onboard them, identify mutual interest, what they would like to work with us on, and what is it that as an expertise we would take to the table with them. The second one is define, where you clarify the roles, responsibility, and the participations and expectations from each one of them. You draw a RASI chart, which I will bring up in a bit. But when you look at the SMART goals for Q2, it should be collaboration framework should be established with governance and cadence, right? Coordinate stakeholder communication. Communication is key. And then you determine project deliverables and timelines. The third one is basically design, where the plan of action would basically foster interdisciplinary collaboration and co-creation. And when I talk about interdisciplinary, I was trying to put together a team in AU where we would be working to look at predictive models to be generated for the windmill. Now, windmill requires engineering. Windmill requires just not engineering. Within engineering, you need information sciences guys. You need mechanical engineers. You need electrical electronics engineers, right? And you need the electrical engineers for the sensors that they would use. So similarly, in this particular stuff, the SMART goals would basically look at what kind of interdisciplinary collaboration and co-creation can be accomplished using the design methodologies in Q3. And Q4, we do development. We do the necessary steps to deliver the result. We start doing the prototyping. We start looking at gathering the industry data, realistic data sets, and then we bring a Q5, Q4 SMART goals together where we iterate prototypes, we evaluate the solution, we look at the performances, we look at the feasibility on a scale, we look at how to publish joint research papers, and then file patents for the collaboration. The fifth one is deliver. Of course, you have the solution, now you should deliver. It should go to field. It should get tested. So the plan of action would require being able to finalize these solutions for the real world problems that were identified in stage 1. And the Q5 SMART goals would be a time when you are at year 2 and before you get into a rejig starting from the Q1 of the FY2, you start looking at implementing those solutions, monitoring their KPIs, right? Measure the customer satisfaction and look at the market preparedness for these case studies. So that being the stuff, you can look at the successful, to be successful, you need a RACI chart. The successes from the institutions, the industry, the researchers, the investors, and startups. Everybody needs to come together to be able to make this successful. There are a list of responsibilities that are listed down. It's a RACI chart where R stands for responsibility, who will take the responsibility, who will be accountable, who will need to support, who will need to be consulted, and who will need to be informed. Right? So this is the blueprint for a 5-quarter academia industry collaborative program. So to sum it up, for me, design thinking is a perfect glue between academia and industry for faster mutual prosperity to thrive together. The more industry comes in, the more academic involvement will be taken in, the more research publications, the more quality of research publications, the more innovative solutions, the more buyers for these solutions, the more PhDs that you will have automatically. But PhD should not be the end goal, right? The PhD should be a via media which will lead you to create those solutions which are realistic from a world demand perspective. Okay, so that's at the end. So let's look at think, adapt, which is empathize, define, ideate, prototype, test. Every time, each time you think of a solution, right? So thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Stephen. Thank you so much. Thanks to everybody for patiently listening to me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Once again, on behalf of the Andhra University Trans-Disciplinary Research Hub, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Sairam Garu for traveling all the way from Bangalore to here to give his keynote address. A big round of applause, please. On stage, please, I need some chairs. Right, now we'll be having a very interesting session now. Again, I request the two speakers who have finished their sessions for a panel discussion. It will be very short and followed by, don't go away, there is a session called You Are Hacked. And there will be a live demonstration. It's not just theory. And he will show how our private things are made public and sometimes are being stolen. So very interesting sessions lined up. Now we have a group of experts here with us. If you look at the poster please, the panel discussion poster. Yeah. Right, I think this line is much better, going that far. Yeah, maybe 5, right. Are you all here? Yes, sir? Yeah, okay, okay. Sometimes silence kills, right? Now I request the people in the photograph, people in the poster to come on to the dais, please, starting with the keynote speaker, Sairam Garu, then Mahesh, then Dr. H. Purushottam Garu, and Murthy Garu, Dr. Murthy Garu from ISRO, and my very good friend Ravi Iswarapu, and Dr. Ravi too. Please, just few minutes. I'm not going to do it for a longer time because I know I'll leave you very soon and we have a good Q&A session. Right, please occupy your seats. Please, please, please. Great people, great scenes, wonderful platform. Wow, great. While you're trying slowly, you can give a big round of applause. Wow, come on, louder, big louder. Wonderful, wonderful people on the platform. Can I have 2 more microphones on stage, please? Right. Now the panel discussion would go like this. We didn't prepare anything. This is just the live. I didn't prepare any questions. And I did not inform them these are the questions I'm going to ask. This is the live session. And I will give you last 5-10 minutes. Maybe the whole session just will be within half an hour for sure. But last 5 minutes, I will make the floor open for you to ask any question, right? Now here we go. We have 5 great people. Ravi Garu, just you heard a lot of stories. And we have Dr. Murthy Garu, scientist in ISRO. And positioned at very high position. I was introduced to him just yesterday by our Honorable Vice Chancellor. Of course, he spoke to me earlier over the phone, but, because of so many people, I could not recognize him. I'm so honored to being introduced to him. And Dr. Purushottam Garu, IPR chair, this morning, Honorable Vice Chancellor was telling about his chair and his expertise, and he's always a great inspiration to me. And Sairam Garu, you have just had a wonderful, wonderful keynote address. I tell you, these are available over the YouTube. We have a AU Looks YouTube channel. So you can again and again go through the stats and go through the keynote address again. And finally, my very good friend, Ravi Iswarapu, a wonderful tennis player too. He never taught me completely. Right? Thank you very much, sir, for all the time. Now I'll go like this. I have few questions for each one of you. And my humble request to all of you is just answer in 1 minute. The first one is, why research? I'll give you some time. This is the only question. Why research? Because we have different perspectives. Honestly, for me, 15 years back, research is for PhD, PhD is for my promotion, honestly. Nothing more than that. I just want the degree, otherwise I will remain as assistant professor for my life. So, what's for research? Don't give long answers, maybe in 1 line, 1 statement. How many of you want to listen to this question? Why research? See, spontaneously ask this, that's a desire. See, desire of the user's desire. Ravi sir? So part of design thinking is a desire from the audience. Why research? Where shall I start? From that end, listen, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Professor Stephen, for organizing this very wonderful event. He said, I am inspiration, but he is inspiration to all of us, I would say. So let us give a big round of applause for conducting such a wonderful workshop, that too on design thinking, which is the need of the hour to transform ourselves, This is also answers the question what he has raised. Why research? So in my opinion, research is for your own education, your own insightful thought process, Research is what? Research is finding a new solution to the existing problem. All of us, through the transdisciplinary research or otherwise, we are trying to find a solution to the problems which are prevailing in the society. That when you need a solution, ideal solution for a complex problem, design thinking is one of the approaches. That's what which has been followed, adopted across the globe as one of the best practice. So, if you wanted to do research, design thinking, understanding the framework, understanding the process of applying design thinking is very, very important. I think as Dr. Ambedkar's vision is that transforming the society, I think he is the right person pushing or realizing his vision of transforming the society through Trans-Disciplinary Research Hub, which is a wonderful tool God has given to him to realize the vision of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So yes, you are all his instruments, understand the concept design thinking as many of our earlier speakers spoke, the 5 steps of a design thinking. What is that? Empathy. Empathy is nothing but understanding the consumer or the customer's perspective. Ultimately, the customer, the consumer should be delighted to use your product or service. So one best example we all could see is the smartphone or the Apple iPhone, which is one of the best example which has adopted the design thinking and came out with that product. So they are the global leaders now as far as the smartphones are concerned. So why research, just I would like to conclude, it is basically, it is an evaluation of human being. If you wanted to evolve yourself as a perfect human being, a knowledge person, I think all of us should have that kind of a research orientation, research bent of mind. Then you will be able to see the world in reality. Whatever the society is enjoying today, all the benefits of science and technology, they're all because of the research. So research should be a fundamental right of all the citizens of our country, so that we will be able to think differently, think out of the box, and use the framework of design thinking, so that we will be able to come out with a better products, better solutions for the society.
Great, great. You can transfer the mic to Murthy garu. Just a minute.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. ఎంతమంది ఇందులో తెలుగు వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు? ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. సో లైక్ ది ట్రాన్స్డిసిప్లినరీ, ఐ విల్ బి టాకింగ్ ఇన్ ట్రాన్స్ లాంగ్వేజ్ ఆల్సో, ఇంగ్లీష్ అండ్ తెలుగు. రీసెర్చ్ ఎందుకు? దట్ ఈస్ ద క్వశ్చన్. రీసెర్చ్ బేసికల్గా వరల్డ్ ఈజ్ టూ బిగ్ and the knowledge is too vast. In the knowledge, body of knowledge that you are having, research basically is for 3 things. One is you read something, you find something wrong, and you identify and correct it. Or second thing, you read something and there are some gaps, you fill that gap. Or third thing is there is something which is not at all written so far. ఇంతవరకు ఎవరు ఆ ఏరియా గురించి, ఆ ప్రాబ్లం గురించి రీసెర్చ్ చెయ్యలేదు, ప్రకటించలేదు. సో దాని గురించి మనం అన్వేషించడం, దాన్ని ప్రకటించడం, ఈ మూడే. ఎవరు ఏ ప్రాబ్లం తీసుకున్నా కూడా ఈ మూడింట్లోకే పడుతుంది. ఎయిదర్ కరెక్షన్ ఆర్ గ్యాప్ ఫిల్లింగ్ ఆర్ ఆల్టుగెదర్ ఏ న్యూ టాపిక్. ఐ విల్ కమ్ బ్యాక్ లేటర్.
Thank you. Ravi sir?
I think answer is already been told. The knowledge of the world can be looked at as a different places of the world which are undiscovered. Researcher is a traveler, is like a voyager who will go to the different parts of the world, and the research process is the discovery process. And he goes there and collects some information and writes it on a blog, and during your RRM or your paper publication or your thesis writing, you will tell that something exists there. Why not you watch and discover something more and come back again, publish. And the entire process is that. Some curiosity. Human being is with a curiosity. If the curiosity kills, whole world will be stopped at this stage. The curiosity process is what I think is the research. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Sir, Sairam sir, would you add something? Yeah, microphone.
The word itself is research.
Yeah.
Right? Keep searching till you find what is missing. They say read between lines. There is something which already exists, but how can you improvise it? And that's how the research will come in, to keep refining the best found solutions. Everything has a continuous improvement, and continuous research is only going to lead to continuous improvement.
Ravi?
Okay, take over.
Very good afternoon. Thank you. I think research is survival, research is progress, research is success, whether it's from a business perspective or a researcher perspective. For your survival, I know basically you might be doing research, writing papers, publishing them, Scopus index, what is that? Yeah, citations, I don't understand that language much, but we call in the technology readiness levels up to 3. That's survival. It's enough for your job. But success is going a little bit above, prototyping, proving it, that it is possible and it is practical. Success is when you come to me, say that I am startup, I can make it successful, put it into the market, make money out of it.
Great. Love it. Love the answers. Sir, my question now to each individual. Now, Sairam, sir. Most of us look research only for academia. What's the role of research in industry?
Well, like I said, if your research is only targeted at getting your citation, then you're dead even before you have started. Okay? But if it is for sustenance, if it is for continuous improvement, right, which you want, where you want the solutions to reach to the real people who are getting impacted by a non-solution in that space, right, that is what your true research should be about. Okay? Does it answer your question?
Yeah, right. All right. We understand. Most of the times we think, research is only for academia and academics and for promotions and for citations, API score and all that stuff, Most of us do that. But, I have someone sitting there, scientist in ISRO, and doing his PhD in Telugu. I don't know how to connect ISRO and Telugu together. But let me first find something, what kind of research you do in ISRO. And do any of us fit into that? Because we always look for a position in, if not Gayatri, at least, and if not, and it's somewhere. We search for that. But if I do a PhD in AUTD, will I get any position in ISRO? Anything related to research?
Definitely yes. Research, Indian Space Research Organization ante andulone undi research. We are basically a research oriented organization in the field of space. Space ante enti basic ga rockets, satellites, tarvata vaati operation, దాని నుంచి డేటా తీసుకోవడం, ఆ డేటాని పబ్లిక్ యూటిలైజ్ చేయడం. సో ఆల్ ఫుల్ సైకిల్ ఉంది. ఆ రాకెట్ ఆర్ శాటిలైట్ని డిజైన్ చేయాలి, దాన్ని లాంచ్ చేయాలి, లాంచ్ చేసిన తర్వాత 10 to 15 years ఆ శాటిలైట్ని ఆపరేట్ చేయాలి, ఐసీయూలో పేషెంట్ ఉన్నట్టుగా దాన్ని 24/7 మానిటర్ చేయాలి. తర్వాత దాని దగ్గర నుంచి వచ్చే డేటా ఊరికి వాళ్ళు బతుకుంటే ఉపయోగం, వాళ్ళు మనతో మాట్లాడాలి, సిగ్నల్స్ ఇవ్వాలి కదా. సో దాని నుంచి డేటా రావాలి, ఆ డేటా వచ్చి ఏం చేసి కంప్యూటర్లో బీరువాల్లో దాచుకోవడానికా కాదు, పబ్లిక్కి యూటిలైజ్ చేయడానికి, సొసైటీకి. సో దిస్ హోల్ సైకిల్ ఈజ్ ఇన్వాల్వ్డ్ ఇన్ ఇస్రో. సో ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇక్కడ డిజైన్ థింకింగ్ అంటున్నాము, బట్ యాక్చువల్లీ అవర్ ప్రాసెస్ ఈజ్ థింక్ డిజైనింగ్. అవర్ లైఫ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్ ఈజ్ థింక్ డిజైనింగ్. సో కీప్ ఆన్ thinking the design aspects, and then once the project is completed, when you are looking for the new project, what is the design thinking that comes into that? What is the next satellite? Why we have to launch? What for? How many kilograms or how many tons? Where we have to launch? How many cameras? How many transponders? Are there any requirement? Indaka chepparu kada, market requirement. I can build some satellite just like that, but is it having a users in India or abroad? That we have to calculate, calibrate, and then design. So the design thinking as well as think designing, both the aspects are our full-time jobs in ISRO.
And why you are doing Telugu? Yeah. Telugu, see, do they speak Telugu, or you need some expertise in Telugu to do something in ISRO?
Definitely no. నేను బేసిక్గా తెలుగు వాడిని, రాజమండ్రి నేటివ్ ప్లేసు. అందుకే ఇప్పుడు పొద్దున ఆంధ్ర యూనివర్సిటీలో పొద్దునుంచి పూర్తిగా ఇంగ్లీష్లో అవుతోందని కొంచెం ఇబ్బందిగా నేను తెలుగులో మాట్లాడుతున్నా. లక్కీగా నేను ఒక వేదిక్ ఫ్యామిలీలోంచి వచ్చాను. మా ఫాదరు వేదార్థ పండితులు, రాష్ట్రపతి సన్మానితులు. అండ్ భారతం తెలుగు సాహిత్యం అంటే ఇష్టం ఉంది. అండ్ మహాభారతం మీద ఈరోజు అథారిటీ అయినటువంటి మా గురువు గారు ఆచార్య శలాక రఘునాథ్ శర్మ గారు ఇవాళ ఉన్నారు ఇక్కడ. ఆయన నాకు గురువుగా దొరికారు. తర్వాత సైంటిఫిక్ టెంపర్ ఏదైనా ఉందంటే ఏమిటి, ఎందుకు, ఎలా, అదేదో సినిమాలో నాకేంటి అంటారు, అలాగా ఏమిటి, ఎందుకు, ఎలా అన్న కాన్సెప్ట్ తోటి మహాభారతం పంచమ వేదము. మహాభారతం మీద చాలా వచ్చాయి. మహాభారతం నన్నయ్య కవిత్వ రీతులు, తిక్కన కవిత్వ రీతులు, నన్నయ్య తిక్కన పోలిక, తిక్కన ఎర్రన పోలిక, సంస్కృతం తెలుగు పోలికలు అన్నీ అయిపోయాయి. ఒక మంచి వెరైటీ టాపిక్ తీసుకుంటే కానీ పిహెచ్డిలో దానికి వాల్యూ ఉండదు. కానీ వెరైటీ టాపిక్ తీసుకుంటే ఆటోమేటిక్గా కష్టాలు కూడా ఎక్కువ అవుతాయి. దానివల్ల ఏమైంది, మా గురువుగారి సహకారం వల్ల మహాభారతము పంచమ వేదత్వ నిరూపణము అని నేను తీసుకున్నా. మహాభారతం పంచమ వేదం అంటే అవును పంచమ వేదం, అవును పంచమ వేదం అని అందరూ అంటూ ఉంటారు ఎన్నో శతాబ్దాల యుగాల నుంచి. అది ఎందుకు అయ్యింది అని ఒక తార్కాణాలు 1, 2, 3, 4 మనం చెప్పాలి. అది చెప్పడానికి వీలవుతుంది. అందువల్ల వేదాల్లో ఉన్నది ఏమిటి, ఆ సారాంశాన్ని అంతా తీసుకొచ్చి భారతంలో పురాణాల్లో సామాన్య ప్రజలకు అర్థమయ్యేలా చెప్పారు కనుక దాన్ని మహాభారతాన్ని పంచమ వేదము అన్నారు. కానీ ఈ రీజన్స్ స్పెసిఫిక్గా 1, 2, 3, 4 అనేది లేదు. అది చూపించి తార్కాణాలతోటి చెప్పాలి అనేది నా లక్ష్యం. ఎందుకు తెలుగు పిహెచ్డి అంటే నేను తెలుగు మామూలుగా చదువుతూ ఉంటాను, ప్యారలల్గా రాస్తూ ఉంటాను చిన్న చిన్నవి. కానీ ఒక సిస్టమేటిక్ అప్రోచ్లో వెళ్ళాలి, ఏదైనా మనం సాధించాలి అంటే ఈ పిహెచ్డి రూట్లో అయితే బాగుంటుంది. సో అన్నీ కలిసి మీరు అన్న ట్రాన్స్ డిసిప్లినరీ, నా తెలుగు కొంచెం వేదిక్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్, వై అండ్ హౌ అనే సైంటిఫిక్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ అన్నీ కలిసాయి. సో దట్ ఈస్ హౌ ఐఎమ్ హియర్.
అంటే అందుకే బేసికల్గా మీ ప్యాషన్ పర్సూ చేస్తున్నారు,
ప్యాషన్ ఫర్ తెలుగు. మొన్న అందుకే ఆంధ్ర యూనివర్సిటీలో ఫిబ్రవరి 21, 22లో
పెట్టారు. అంటే
అంతర్జాతీయ
ఎందుకు అన్న క్వశ్చన్కి అంటే అది మీకు ఎక్కడో ఉపయోగపడుతుంది, దాంతో కొంత డబ్బు
ఉపయోగపడుతుందని ఏమీ లేదు, నాకేమీ ప్రమోషన్ కాదు, నేను సొంత సెలవులు పెట్టుకుని చేస్తాను.
కమర్షియల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఏం లేదు. మేము పిహెచ్డి అనగానే మాకు ఏం కలిసి వస్తుంది, దాని తర్వాత ఒక జీతం పెరుగుతుంది అట్లా ఉంటుంది మాకు
లేదు.
సో మీకు ఏమైనా అట్లా కలిసి వస్తుంది?
నేను ఎక్స్ట్రా వర్క్ చేసి హోంవర్క్ మిడ్ నైట్ చేసుకుని చేసుకోవడం.
గ్రేట్ గ్రేట్, లాట్ ఆఫ్ అప్రిసియేషన్ టు డాక్టర్ మూర్తి గారు. సో బేసికలీ వీ అండర్స్టాండ్ రీసెర్చ్ ఈజ్ ప్యాషన్, రైట్? నా మై క్వశ్చన్ టు పురుషోత్తం గారు, సార్, how important it is to patent something? Because always you push after your arrival at university, suddenly the patent filing and granting raised so high. So how important it is? And patenting usually for engineering, some design, okay. Say for example Telugu, ఎవడో చేయిందా ఆయన చేస్తున్నారు. Can we copyright it, patent it, and how important it is? Because we publish in paper, but now people are talking about patenting, copyright, etc., etc. So would you please explain?
Yeah, thank you, Sir Stephen Garu, for asking me this wonderful question. It is time now for us to create that kind of an awareness, like the way you are promoting design thinking. There is also need for creating awareness about this patenting and intellectual property rights. God has given to all of us the brain, Using the brain, if you create any novel, new product or a solution which is useful to the society, that is what we call a Madho Sampatti Hakku, లేదా Madho Sampatti or intellectual property. So government across the globe ఏంటంటే realizing the importance of the creations of the mind in terms of creating wealth and employment opportunities. So governments are giving rights on that knowledge, new knowledge, what we are all creating. దాన్నే మనము పేటెంట్స్గా దానిపైన హక్కులు పొందొచ్చు అనమాట. సో ఇట్ ఈస్ ఏ ప్రాసెస్ బై ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. సో మనం ఎవరైనా సరే ఏదైనా ఒక కొత్త ఆవిష్కరణ కానీ, కొత్త టెక్నాలజీని కానీ, కొత్త సర్వీస్ని కానీ మనం ఇన్వెంట్ చేస్తే దానికి ఏంటంటే మనం గవర్నమెంట్కి అప్లై చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఇలాంటి ఆవిష్కరణ ఇంతవరకు ఎవరూ చేయలేదు, ఫస్ట్ టైం నేను చేశాను. సో ఆవిష్కరణ అనేది ఇట్ నీడ్ నాట్ బి టోటల్లీ డిస్రప్టివ్ ఆల్సో. ఇఫ్ దెర్ ఈజ్ ఎన్ ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్ ఓవర్ ది ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ నాలెడ్జ్, ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ టెక్నాలజీ, existing product or existing service, if there is a incremental improvement also, one can seek intellectual property rights or patents on that new knowledge, So ఈ గవర్నమెంట్ ఏంటంటే మన దేశంలో 4 ప్లేసెస్లో ఈ ఆఫీసెస్ పెట్టాయి, చెన్నై, ఢిల్లీ, కల్కటా అండ్ ముంబై. సో ఒక్కొక్కరు మన సదరన్ రీజియన్స్ అన్నీ కూడా చెన్నై ఆఫీస్లో మనం ఈ పేటెంట్ హక్కులకి మనం అప్లై చేయాలన్నమాట. మనం ఎవరైనా ఈ ట్రాన్స్ డిసిప్లినరీ రీసెర్చ్ సబ్ చెప్పేది ఏంటంటే, హలో యా, మీ రీసెర్చ్లో మీరు ఏదైనా ఒక కొత్త ఆవిష్కరణ కానీ, కొత్త ప్రాపర్టీ కానీ, కొత్త అప్లికేషన్ కానీ మీరు డెవలప్ చేస్తే, యూ ప్లీజ్ కమ్ టు అస్ at the Center for Intellectual Property Rights and TDRH are located in the same building. You know, all of you should get the benefit of our coexistence so that we can co-create the intellectual properties, you know. So if you come to us, we will help you to identify that new knowledge what you have created out of your research work. Excellent. You know, you might have developed or extracted a compound, you know, which has got therapeutic values, or you have developed some kind of a reaction which is environment friendly. There are no effluents, there are no toxic elements, you know, in the effluent. That anything which you feel that there is a novelty, there is something improvement over the existing knowledge you have invented in your research, please come to us. We will help you to get patents on that. You know, once you get a patent, apply and you get a patent, you are the absolute owner of that knowledge for 20 years. You know, once the patent is granted to you, what is the benefit as a researcher you will get, that you should also know. So as I told you, that knowledge what you have created, for which you got protection, you know, for that 20 years you are the absolute owner. If somebody wanted to use that knowledge out of your research, no one can use that. No one is allowed or permitted to use that knowledge without your permission. You know, so that permission is nothing but a kind of a right on that knowledge. So you can license that knowledge, you can sell that knowledge to the startup company, so like Ravi what he is promoting, you know, the entrepreneurs can take that knowledge from you and start a business, start a venture and produce it in large scale and sell it in the market, you know, and by that way they make money, they create employment opportunities. In that process, as an inventor, you know, you will get royalty on the product or the service what they sell out of your research. So as long as they produce that product and sell that product in the market, you get a royalty lifelong, you know. So for example, the cell phone, the smartphone what we are buying, you know, and that at least 10% of the money what we pay to the mobile phone manufacturers goes to the inventors. For example, a mobile phone if you take, there are hundreds of technologies in that phone. It's not a single technology. There is a camera, there is a screen, there is a button, there is a memory, there is a chip. So all these things are nothing but individual technologies. The smartphone manufacturers have assembled all of them and made the product and they brought to the market. When they sell the product in the market, no, there will be agreements between the technology transferors, technology licensors and the manufacturers. So in that agreement, it is clearly spelled out, as long as they produce the product and sell the product in the market, the inventors will get always a share, you know. So that is the biggest advantage. As you asked a question, you know, patents are meant for not only for scientific inventions, but what kind of rights are available for the Telugu literature, for arts and humanities students, you know. Basically, patents can be owned by anyone who has got a brilliant idea, who has converted that idea into a product or a service. There is no differentiation or there is no requirement. It should be done only by the scientists or engineers. Any human being who has got a brilliant idea, he can convert that idea into a prototype and a product. He can apply for the
Sir, can
patent.
idea be patented at the initial stage itself?
Pardon me?
Idea can be patented.
Ideas, that is also a good question. Ideas per se cannot be patented, but you can file a patent for the idea in the form of a provisional patent, you know, to protect that idea, you know. Within 1 year, they give a 1 year time to convert your idea into a prototype, proof of concept at least. If you want to file a patent, you should have a proof of concept. The results you should have. How you have converted your idea into a proof of concept.
Sir,
and a product.
can a best practice be patented?
Best
We start something here very innovatively, you know. Can it be
that is what,
copyrighted?
you see, patents are meant for scientific inventions, nothing else.
Yeah.
You know, but this kind of improvements can be patented in the form of a design, or it can be patented in the form of a copyright, or it can be patented in other forms.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. We have a dedicated IPR chair. Coincidentally, both the offices shares the same building. So sir is always available to help us. So please, anyhow you have come all the way, try to make a visit tomorrow after your session or sometime in between in the break time, and is very helpful to help you. Right? Thank you very much, sir. Now my question to Sairam sir: how easy it is to shift between industry and academia? Let me ask you this, because I was heading an engineering college for some time, about almost 9 years, when IT industry is going so high, and some of the even PhD holders, they were so attracted, they left the job and they went there. Immediately after 6 months, they called me and, sir, sorry, I made a wrong decision, can I come back? And they came back. How easy it is to shift between industry and academia, and how can I make self fit to both at the same time?
Well, it's a very interesting question. It's iterative, right? It's cyclic. So while you're successful, like the VC sir was telling in the morning, if you're successful, you don't listen to anybody, right? So even if you are a PhD and you are successful in whatever you're doing in the enterprise organizations or corporate world, anything that is thrown at you is not accepted because you're already tasting success. And that's the beginning of the downfall for people in corporate. When you come back to the academy, basically saying that, let me pursue my passion through research, and you want to utilize all the facilities and platforms provided by the universities or institutions, that's when you want to come back. But most of the time, unfortunately, in our education, right, we feel that our end product is always a job, a promotion, a salary. Look at the debt trap most of the middle class families fall in. So many students are going out for masters or PhD. Why is this not being done here? Right? Brendan Rogers, who is one of the biggest investors in Indian startups, says that I will continue to invest for the next 25 years. Because he is seeing the startups are actually converging to having most of these researchers stop at the Indian shores and say, we don't want to go. Now we have a facility. We want to pursue our passion and create enterprises, right? And that is the beginning of the brain drain reversal.
Wonderful.
People are now going to come back. I want to see, probably in my lifetime, I don't know whether it will be possible or not, I want to see all these people who are wanting to go abroad, writing IELTS, GATE, GREs, stop and come back to institutions like AU to pursue their higher studies.
Wow.
That's my goal.
Great. That's a great answer. And in continuation with that, in history always that there is a conflict between ethics and economics. Always as teachers we are tempted. Because honestly, in private colleges, we are not paid equally. In industry, our contemporaries, always they earn a lot of money. But we are taught as we teach students, most of the times inside, we have that war between ethics and economics. We do want to earn a lot. Do you think that this research would help me even financially?
Why not? Right? If you're coming up with a path-breaking solution for a problem which has a market demand,
Okay.
why will somebody not invest money into it? Right? The guy is next to me.
Yeah, that's what. I'm just waiting for his
So
turn.
this fellow has been luring people with a lot of such solutions and saying you can do it here, and people are signing the deals on the dotted lines left, right, center.
Correct.
For a reason. Because people see talent here. And I can tell you, after having traveled across the globe so much, there cannot be better technical guys than Indians.
Yes.
There cannot be better entrepreneurs than Indians.
True, I agree.
Right? And do not underestimate. I saw in the morning, the entire hall is full and people are still standing up. The only thing I told to the VC who was sitting next to me is, do you think we can underestimate the power of all these people, the brain power of all these people who are sitting there? If you were to have 33 tracks is one part, but let's say if you were to follow this 5-quarter blueprint and create the crowdsourcing based design thinking innovative solutions which are more appealing to the market demands, you just see people will line up
Yeah.
in front of Andhra University and say, we want to invest here,
Yeah.
right? That's the only way to grow.
Yeah.
And then all these people who are right now not wanting to say great things about AU, right, will need not have to say anything great. It is already great by then.
Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Looking forward to those days. And Ravi Iswarapu, my friend, how would research and incubation would go together? In those lines, see, me as a teacher, and finally I come back to Dr. Ravi again, because he works with an affiliated college. Let me be very honest. And the next question also I'm posting, most of the times we're asked to take care of NAC and BA and all the stuff, all the remaining time we invest on that. And where is the time for real research and real thinking and real incubation, startup kind of thing? Now, I'll before I go there, Ravi, you tell me, as a teacher, is it really possible in the real-time world that I can come up with an idea and start up and do and realize that idea and make it commercialize?
Why not? There are a lot of examples. If you're talking about faculty who have heading institutions and made it big, I take the example of IIT Madras. A professor in electrical engineering, Ashok Junjunwala, created IIT Madras doesn't need funds for the next 10 years. Zero. Nobody needs. It's got just the incubation center now has generated a value of 40,000 crores. It's done by a faculty.
Yeah. Sorry for interruption. I know that story. But they need not worry for NAC and NBA and all that
No,
stuff.
they are.
Right?
They are in the
They have a
NRF
lot
rankings.
of time given. So speak in the local context.
Okay.
Is it possible?
Oh, it is.
Because you are heading an incubation.
Yeah. See, if you as a prof, how many research students do you have with you?
8.
And what do? They
do their research.
Then why not? When if you are busy in NAC and NBA and NRF and other stuff, it's not that I don't have.
Yeah,
See,
we use them also for data entry.
Okay. So I'm telling you.
I'm speaking
it's-
reality. See, why we sit here and say, imagination, why we fly in the air. See, in real world,
No,
is it
I'll tell
possible?
you, it's just the intent.
Okay.
For 1 year, I was the only guy running
Yeah, I know that,
all
I
the
know
incubation.
that, yeah,
I was managing 5 portals.
Yeah.
Yukti, IIC, Kapila.
Yeah, I know.
There were 5 portals. ARIA, which is the NRF ranking, which we are 15th. So all the data I was managing myself and I was doing. I had 5 patents last year. I run 5 startups. Why not? If you think you want, you can. It's just that it's a mindset.
How can you help our people now? Can we come
See,
and
now,
reach you?
okay, now I'll tell you what's happening out here. What morning VCR was very clear. He was one statement he was saying. Faculty within the same department don't talk to each other. What we are enabling to the incubation ecosystem is, I have a tech research center, I have a pharma, I have a bio, I have marine, I have food, you name it, we have genomics, whatnot. And when I'm saying all these things, let's say there's a pharma prof, researcher, doing some drug discovery, API, wants to reduce his discovery life cycle, which is usually based on artificial intelligence. Where can he come to? Come to the center of excellence, which is AI and ML. Now I have another marine defense startup, which is into unmanned underwater vehicles. Unmanned. Where does they go and test? They go to marine living resources, which is Avanti Feeds. There they have tanks filled, which is pumped in with seawater, and then they test it initially before they go for the real test in the sea with currents. So there is multiple ways in which you can cross collaborate and take advantage.
Excellent.
So that's one environment that we're talking. I'll give you one example how it's been possible. I'll ask first you to guess. 4 students from the university, they built a startup which is tank-based fish culture, chemical-free, using IoT, analytics, image analytics, and IoT. Which branch of, which department do you think that they belong to in the university? They did vertical farming. They also built the MVP in Eluru, sold the company. They were in the finalist, went to London. Which branch, which department do you think they come from? Yes?
Yeah, usually we say IT, ECE, then CSE.
They're not even from the engineering department.
Yeah,
They're 4 students from law college.
oh, that's great.
If they had the intent to study IoT and artificial intelligence, image analytics, and aqua farming, law students, why not you as a researcher who are you're supposed to be an expert in your area of this thing?
That's true.
Recent press meet, we had one startup which got 5 crore funding from Chip 2 startup, which is basically creating a crow processor which can take artificial intelligence into the system rather than putting it onto the server.
That's great.
And the guy who is running that startup, he does that. He does animal husbandry, microfluidics using sensors. And the third startup he has is in drones. This guy is a BCom background. So what do you think?
So you're all speaking about Andhra University that's
yes,
happening
this
here?
is all happening here.
Do you know that? Everything, we are talking about Andhra University, not IIT Chennai.
No,
I
I'm
brought
not
him from
talking
there.
examples from outside.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking
yeah. I
examples
brought him
all
from Chennai
inside.
to Vizag.
No, I'm talking all inside. When your students who look up to you as great, as your teachers, who are your Guru Purnima and all that stuff,
Yeah.
why can't you as a faculty do it? It's just the intent to be able to do it.
That's great. Wonderful, 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 Ravi. Wonderful, excellent. You know, I just ask you to please go around Andhra University and just check once that paradigm shift over the last 3-4 years. You know, you will be amazed, I'm sure. So go around, just what my very good friend Ravi was talking, all happening in this campus. But you know, still I have a question for Dr. Ravi. You know, people struggle to attend to this 2 days national conference. Being in a private engineering college or a science college, you know, they call me, they mail me, my principal is not leaving me, sir. They are not giving me permission. You know, for joining, before putting up the application, usually the part of the application is no objection. What does it mean? Why a principal should give no objection? And they are not allowing the scholars, even some supervisors even, to attend this conference just for 2 days. And Ravi said so much, and it demands a lot of time, and I'm very sure it demands prime time. Is it really possible working in a private college? You're from the sector. Could you please explore on it?
So I'll try to answer this, and together there is a one mindset issue which we need to discuss, and definitely it is not possible. There is something going to happen in future as well. Traditionally, if you see Indian mindset, I'm talking from a Vedic times, we are more of an intuitive kind of people, right? We think from a 0 to 1. It's like an infinite thinking. That is why the knowledge hubs and the traditional universities, all that were created. We were having a food source as a farming and all that used to happen. At the same time, from a 12th century or 13th century onwards, if you see from a western side, they are of a predicative mindset. So they think we are either 0 or 1. We think 0 to 1. So this was a kind of thinking difference between both of us. Of late, over a period of time, we realized that our knowledge is being extracted and sent to that. I think that's what sir was talking about, right? So you look at Neem, you look at Basmati, you look at Banginpilli, all that were patented, yogasans were patented, and we realized that something wrong. By the time we already lost in the Western thought process and all that, we became in between. Of late, I think last 20 years or so, I think we realized something mistake happened in our education institutions, and we need to come back and revive back and ensure that we also should become more of a predicative mindset. Industry works in a predicative mindset, university works in intuitive mindset. We need to shift from inductiveness to predicativeness. In the process, of course, it takes some time. Having said that, we all have to realize that progressive universities will have this division of administrators, researchers separate, administrators separate, and mentors are separate. Probably I think the rest of the academicians are separate. That division is going to happen. I'll just give you a statistics. Till 2021, industry versus academia, PhDs in AI. I'm talking about AI is the term because that is what is a statistic recently came out. 48% industry used to absorb, 52% universities used to absorb PhD candidates. Right from 2022 to till date, in US, North America, 79% PHs are absorbed by industry, only 18% or 20% are absorbed by academicians. That means that shift started, that from 0 to 1 to 0 or 1 is going to happen. For sure, in a progressive university, this division is going to happen, very sure. Because finally, I just want to conclude, design thinking and computational thinking, these are going to drive the entire university system in future. So we need to get adjusted, and for sure, we need to be adaptable to this kind of system.
Wonderful, wonderful. Excellent. In fact, even 2 decades back, I was wondering actually, can a good teacher be a good researcher? Can a good researcher be a good teacher? Can these two go together? See, teaching is an art, a skill, a mentoring, a coaching, a facilitator kind of thing. Research is something digging into, and it's a different environment. How academia mixed up these two and looking it at as one. Can any one of you can answer and close this?
Yeah, definitely cannot and should not also. Ideally, I think it is not a right mix as well because of the pressure we have, the transition time we are in. So we are forced to do that. Teachers are meant for teaching, and there is a natural trait which actually kind of explanative power is what I think original teaching is all about. Yeah. Research is all about curiosity and figuring out discovery and figuring out something which is unknown, right? These two are two different traits. We are asking, I think in the holistic education scenario, I think you see a dog and a cat and a monkey and all of them assembled together and asking, you try to learn this skill to this skill. That is what is happening in education. A fish is asked to learn to jump into outside and immediately it dies. Yeah. A rabbit is asked to go out, not borrowing capability, but it goes upside and downside, immediately it falls down. So this is what I think is happening, and we are together losing everything. The original traits are given by God, I think is natural. That is where Gardner multiple intelligence says, by birth everybody will have one intelligence out of 9 intelligence showcase. One is naturally we have. Unfortunately, we bury that and we ask to monetize that intelligence, and we get into another trade and so on. That is where the mismatch is happening.
That's true.
If the socio-physical natures and the natural intelligence is connected to your job in the assessment form, in the interview form, I think probably that is when I think it is more sustainable. Otherwise, it is not sustainable.
That's wonderful. A big round of applause. Can we all give a standing ovation to these gentlemen? Can we all stand our own feet and, while they sit? Because, while they sit, I wish them because, that's knowledge, that's wisdom, right? Thank you. You want to add
I want to add one thing to the previous question.
Yeah, please.
Can I do a good research? Good research means if you look at the problems faced by you, the people, either at your house, in the village or in the country, obviously you will be forced to think better and come out with more better solutions. Telemedicine, ఇప్పుడు ఇందాక ఆయన చెప్పారు. Telemedicine 2001లో ISRO has started connecting patients in villages, remote villages and hilly areas to doctors in the cities through satellite. We have been following that for last 18-19 years. But again, one of the factors, market acceptability, that was not there. So every year we are conducting conferences and talking good about telemedicine. But then COVID has done too good for this telemedicine field. It has told everybody, both the doctors as well as the patients, the importance of the telemedicine. So just one more point is, same way Uber and Ola, what are they? Earlier also cabs were there, passengers were there, roads were there. But what they have done? They have come up with a new idea of just a software solution, linking and bridging all the things. That exactly made a good research and that made big money also.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Big round of applause to all the gentlemen. Thank you so much, so much, so much. In fact, I have an appeal for all of you. In fact, every Saturday evening, we have a program called Meet with Dean program. Meet with Dean, Professor James. In fact, at least 400 to 500 scholars will join. So initially, what I try to do is, to make the scholars understand this hub and online part and all. Now, we have finished at least 5 such sessions. So may I request you sometimes write to you to give a special session on Saturday? Maybe I would take a prayer permission from you. Would you like that? because today we are going out of time, but these are our people, and they have that love and affinity towards this wonderful university. So with that request, I once again, on behalf of everyone, thank you so much. Thank you. And now the time for Mahesh to come up. Please be seated. Big round of applause while you are being hacked, okay? Yeah. Mahesh, I would not take even a minute. People are waiting for you. Take care of your cards, take care of your belongings, right? And we'll have a live demonstration now. Enjoy your time and make sure and be assured that I remain here. If you have any queries, today is Friday. Tomorrow we will not have meet with Dean program. But today you can directly come and reach me and ask any questions. After this session, that will continue. If you want to go around, you are free to go around. Please try to interact with your peers, friends, scholars, supervisors, and the guests, etc. Right? Thank you. Over to Mahesh. Are you comfortable with that?
Very good morning to all of you. No, not afternoon. Good morning, everyone. No. Because whenever we say good morning, it feels like a fresh start, right? Although the technology, the things that we are going to learn now, is going to be something really very interesting. Obviously, we all are running late by the timing. I don't know how much time I do have. Maybe consider I have 30 minutes exactly with me over here. But I assure you that this next 30 minutes are going to be the best 30 minutes for your entire life. You will never ever forget this 30 minutes ever in your entire life. Wow. Sir, wow. Sir, starting your session with the promise and saying that it's going to be one of the best session. Yes, that's why people call me Mahesh Rakheja, right? Thank you very much. Let's start with the session. Now, first of all, I would love to start with this game. Oh, I hope that every one of us knows about this game. What game is this? Super Mario. Yup. I hope so. We all played this game a lot in our childhood, right? Even I played it, when I was having full styling hairs during my childhood. Now the hairstyle is different, but it's okay, right? So, during my childhood, I played this game a lot. If we can show, let the presentation be there. No problem at all. Fine. So, during the time when I used to play this game, I understand only one thing. I have one control in my hand, and if I make just a single mistake, I'll get a screen which says game over. Exactly same thing is happening nowadays with you all. And unknowingly or knowingly, you are pressing the button which is continuously popping on you. Your game is already over. Oh shit. So you mean to say, in my real life, I'm playing like a Mario. Exactly correct. You are playing like a Mario because you are currently living in two different worlds. Sir, I'm living in different world? Yes. Okay, let me share some scenario with you. This happens with me. Just try to connect if it happens with you too, right? In the morning time, maybe at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I just wake up for a loo for 5 seconds, just for 5 seconds. Even for during that duration, I do check my mobile phone twice. Do I get a notification? Is there any WhatsApp message? I know during night time no one is going to message me. But I do check it thrice. I have a message? No message is there. Although I was knowing that there will be no message at all, but I do check it because I'm living in two different worlds at the same time. One world is the physical world where you can see me, you can communicate with me, whereas the other world is the virtual world. Now the best part of virtual world is you cannot change your physical world, but you can anytime change your virtual world because that works according to you. Wow. That's great, sir. That's really true. Obviously, yes. Okay, let me give you an example. As you can see me here, having a good hairstyle, I mean, no hairs hairstyle. But when you see my profile picture on Google, you will find a person with good hairs. But obviously, so I am operating my virtual world as per my requirements. I hope you are understanding. I hope you are understanding what I am trying to explain you at this time. There is an advantage. If you understand these things now, you will better make your virtual world in more better sense. Okay, I learned this thing during my engineering time. I was one of the topper during my engineering time, and I just went to Facebook and I updated a status over there. Shit, I failed in 2 exams. My director called me. Mahesh, what happened? You failed in examination. Sir, you also follow me on Facebook. Sir, that was just a joke. I am a topper. I topped again in the examination. And then I realized that people do trust more over the virtual world compared to the real world. Do not believe on my words. Do not believe on my words. Do one small experiment today itself. When you go back to your home, just change your date of birth on Instagram and make the date of tomorrow. I assure you tomorrow you will start receiving the calls. I hope you are getting my point. I hope you are understanding everything. Yes or no? Yes or no? And exactly in the same fashion, every person in this world do judge you based on your virtual world. If you ask me, Mahesh, can you please come for a meeting to meet me? Okay, I'll come. I'll say yes. But whether to meet you or not, I'll first check over the internet. What kind of person is it? It's exactly same like you purchase anything on Amazon, on Flipkart. How do you purchase anything on Amazon? Please tell me, how do you purchase anything on Amazon? If suppose you wanted to purchase any like a mouse, a keyboard, how you purchase a keyboard on Amazon? What you will see first on Amazon, right? Great. Feedback, rating, correct. Now what happens? Being an emotional person, being an artistic person, we usually do not get a platform to express our views. And usually the platforms like Instagram, Facebook and all the different social media platforms are used to express your views. I hope you are getting my point. Yes? And whenever you express your views over the different social media platforms, unintentionally you are giving 0 rating to yourself. Consider you as a product over the internet world. Because whenever you share the emotions, whenever you share the expressions over the internet, people to judge you based on your ratings. Before meeting you, I'll first check your profile. Based on your content, I'll decide whether to meet with this guy or not. I hope you're getting my point. But this is one part of the story. Another part of the story is people are using your emotions directly to target you. Shit. So seriously, obviously yes. Let's move with the next slide. Now it's going to be very interesting. Just give me a few more minutes and I assure you, as per my promise, next 30 minutes, my time. Right, let's move further. Oh, my secret password, damn secret. Okay, now this is really a big question. It always be there in the market, whether hacking can be an ethical hacking. Now, I really wanted to understand from your end, guys, whether hacking can be really an ethical hacking. No, yes, no, yes. It's exactly like ethical murder. Is it possible? Ethical murder. I am an ethical murderer. I have a right. I have a certification. Is it really possible? Basically, yes, sir? Ravi, sir, your point, on the point. Great. So basically, it depends completely on your intentions, whether you wanted to perform the task ethically or not, whether you have the permission to perform the task or not. I hope you are understanding everything. Right? But many times it do happens without even having the wrong intentions. We do perform such kind of tasks which put you in a trouble. Let me give you an example, right? There was a case in Tamil Nadu. I know many people, those who are sitting over here, they can understand Tamil, right? Please excuse me if I use any wrong word over here. That was just a case study. 2 girls suddenly become famous over the virtual world. Suddenly they started become viral over the world, and what mistake those girls have done, they There were two girls with the same name, Vidyas. Vidya was the name of a girl, both girls with the same name, Vidyas, and they just posted the photograph on Instagram with the hashtag the Vidyas. And suddenly, in another language, the meaning completely changed, and that meaning made those girls viral. Shit. So in this situation, they were not having any kind of wrong intention to post on their own photograph. And this thing happens regularly with all of us. With all of us, it happens regularly, intentionally or unintentionally. We are performing crimes which are crime according to cyber law of India. Shit. Sir, is it? Yes. Give me a few more minutes. Why are you changing the screen? My screen is getting off, is it? God bless you. Okay. Now, many people think like this. Whenever I do deliver the session is on cyber security. Whenever I be on a stage, people think like, this guy who is not even having hair, a bald guy, he's going to teach us how to perform, be secured. Okay, internet is not for me. I believe internet is not for me. I don't need to learn about this security. I believe that cyber security is even important for a person who is serving a milk at your home, and it is compulsory for you to learn about it. We are living in the digital era, and this era is very much important it's very much important for us to learn about the security. I'll give you an example. Let's take an example, right? I strongly believe it's important for a person who is serving a milk at your home, right? Let me give an example. Suppose I'm a terrorist. Sir, just a suppose. No reality. Looks like that, but just a suppose. Sir is looking at, sir, I was having doubt on you. This is my hairstyle. Just a suppose. Okay. Suppose I'm a terrorist who came all the way from Pakistan to have a bomb blast over here. Suppose. No reality. Okay. No reality. One fine day, a milkman came to my home. I rented a room nearby to Visakhapatnam beach, and I wanted to have a bomb blast over here only, right? So one fine day, a milkman came to me, and I asked him, Ramu Kaka, are you Indian? Yes sir, I'm Indian. Acha, what proof do you have that you are Indian? Sir, I have Aadhaar card. We do all have Aadhaar card. Sir, I have PAN card. Oh, great. Can I have your photograph? Yes. I got the Aadhaar card. I got the PAN card. With that PAN card, with that Aadhaar card, with that photograph, I purchased a SIM card. I completed the bomb blast. Now everything is all done. Who is responsible for this bomb blast? Obviously Ramu Kaka, sir. Obviously Ramu Kaka. Sir, what's the mistake of Ramu Kaka? The mistake of Ramu Kaka is he do not give value to his most valuable information. The same kind of mistake you and I, we all do. Shit. Sir, but believe my words. If anyone asks me my documents, I do not give my documents to anyone. And sir, especially to you. Sir, if you ask me my document, I'll never ever give my document to you, sir. Sorry, but I'll not give you. What if I say that when you people are sitting over here in Andhra Pradesh, and when I'm there at my home place, maybe at Nagpur, Babu, screen, em chestunaru? I am act. Okay. So when you guys are sitting over there in Visakhapatnam, somewhere in Andhra Pradesh, and I'll be at my place, Maharashtra, Nagpur, right? What if I can say that I can purchase a SIM card with your name, with your documents? Sir, sorry, but how can you get my documents? I don't need your permission. I don't need any kind of consent from you. I can buy anything, whatever I wanted to, with your documents, legit original documents. Sir, how this can be possible? Do you guys wanted to know about it? Say please for it. Say please. Loudly. Huh? Please. Okay. So there is one secret website. I hope that you guys are not going to share about it with anyone. It's very secret website, right? So what I do here, I'll go to that secret website. Google.com, damn secret. And I'm selecting here images section. Now tell me, which is the first document do we need to purchase a SIM card? Aadhaar card, voter ID card, PAN card, anything can work for me, right? Pretty simple. I'll just go to Google and search. I never used any special tool, nothing. I have n number of voter ID cards are there. Sir, just a second. I need Aadhaar card. Okay, let me give you an Aadhaar card on this. Aadhaar card. Okay, how many Aadhaar cards do you need? New is also there. And maybe if I just make my spelling correction. So here you have an Aadhaar card. Now tell me one thing. Is it really damn difficult for me to get photograph out of this? If anyone knows Photoshop, within 5 minutes can get a photograph. Just single click and game is all over. Now I know many of you are thinking at this time, sir, but if you wanted to use Aadhaar card anywhere, they ask for the thumb impression. Correct? Yes? I hope that these things are going in your mind, right? Please go and check out in the internet. In the year 2016, a hacker already proved that thumb impression cannot be used as an identity because this can be hacked very easily. I really wanted to make it more simple for you. It will be your Aadhaar card and my thumb impression. Thank you very much. And I'm not saying that this can be a dangerous thing for you. It's actually happening with you. Nowadays, a particular a kind of partial demonetization is happening for the rupees 2000. Nowadays, a partial demonetization is happening for the rupees 2000. Correct? Now, even nowadays also, people are those who are having the black money, people are exchanging their black money with the white money, but with the condition, government needs a document. So, from where they are getting the documents? They are getting the documents openly available. But sir, I have one question. How these documents came over here? I really wanted to understand. First thing. And second thing, sir, how can I secure myself, right? Do you wanted to know about it? Loudly. Now I hope you are learning. Feeling good, feeling better. It makes me feel like a king, king with no hairs. You know it's hairstyle. You don't believe on me? Try to do it. Try to do your hairstyle. Okay, let's move further. How these documents came over here? Basically, whenever you upload your documents, any of the website, okay, one thing, maybe you go to a hotel and you submit your document to them. What these people do, they scan your documents and put on their own website, correct? Now, Google is having two special softwares. One is Spider and second is Crawler. As soon as anything comes online, Spider goes and tells to Crawler, hey Crawler, new data. Crawler visits your website, scan each and every page of your website and put in the database of Google so that Google be the #1 search engine in the world. Shit. Sir, then how can I secure myself if I wanted to be secured, right? Whenever you are submitting your documents to wheresoever, right? Scratch your document like this, 2 big scratches. And in that scratches, you have to mention everything. Submitted as identity proof, submitted as address proof to the company Vodafone for this number on this date at this time. This is something better than nothing. This is something better than nothing. Although this can be altered easily, but this is something better than nothing. I hope you are getting my point. Every time whenever you submit a document, you give a signature, that is nothing but an attestation. You are giving a permission to use your document. I hope you are getting my points. Yes or no? Yes or no? No, yes. Yes. Now whenever you have to say yes, you don't have to say yes, you have to have a single clap. Okay? Okay. Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me? Everyone? Sleeping? Congratulations. Good morning. That's why I started my lecture with good morning. I know you are sleeping, right? Are you guys with me? The clap is having an added advantage. It do not allows you to sleep and neither to your neighbor, right? Let's move further. Next question. Next question. Next question is, I have total security with antivirus. And sir, you know my password. My password is world's toughest password. मटरू की बिजली का मंडोला. Uppercase, lowercase included, special characters included, and I believe my life is 100% secure. I hope that all of you believe like this, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Congratulations and celebrate. I already said at the addressing time in the morning that you all are already hacked, and none of us is living a private life at all. So if you believe at 2 o'clock in the night you are having a conversation and it's a personal conversation in front of webcam, congratulations. Sir. But I have one query here. You are just saying that we are hacked. Can you please prove it over here? Obviously, yes. Give me 1 second. I'll show you here. First of all, I would love to show you one website over here. Okay, just a second. I'll come to that website later on. I'm still using the same website, your and my favorite website. What's that? Google. Now the technique that I'm using, we call it as Google Dorks, D-O-R-K-S, Dorks. Okay. Now what is Google Dorks? It's an efficient way to search anything on Google, right? It is really helpful for you as a researcher because it helps you to search more content over the Google, right? So basically, how do we search on Google? We search random links, you click on the links and that's it, right? But with this way, you can search specifically what you wanted to search, right? So I'm searching something over there. I'm searching like I need file type. That should be TXT. Then maybe I'm searching, it should include Facebook. Then I'm searching, it should include @yahoo.com. And last, password. I'm searching something like this. Let me show you the output for this. Here you can see in the description too. Let me start with the last website. Here you can see. I hope you are able to see this. Suddenly you got born. We have n number of email addresses and n number of passwords which are easily, okay, I'll show you many more websites. Many more such kind of websites. I'll even explain you how these passwords came over here, right? And many other things. You can see these are n number of websites are there. Sir, I have one question over here. Basically, how these passwords appear over here, right? If you never ever visited dark web, I don't even recommend to use it, but search about it on Google, right? You will understand that every Indian computer which is working majorly on Windows operating system is already hacked. And your data is selling out over the dark web for the cost of $2 or $3 max to max. Sir, my personal data they are selling for $3 only because that is useless for them. They are just selling your data just because maybe they'll make some money out of it. Your credit cards, your debit cards, your personal details, your passwords like this, it's openly, easily available. But sir, my question is still same. How they hack me? How they hack me so that I can be secured, right? Okay, let me discuss about a common thing that we do daily. I hope that being a researcher, every morning you start a mail. Go to Gmail, start your mail, right? You start checking your mails, correct? Which is very normal, right? You go to email, you check your inbox, you see some mails, you click on the mail, you check for the attachment, you click on the attachment and download it. The attachment is not normal file, which is normal docx file, normal document file, correct? And what you do at this time? You just click on that docx file and you open it, correct? Am I correct? Yes or no? Yes or no? As soon as you open a normal document file, That's it. Nothing else is required. What exactly happens in the back end, I would love to show you that also. I have my own botnet. I have my own network. I'll show you that. This is just for your understanding. I maintain it. Yes, for sure I'll have a word on that. Ravi sir, what a great business idea. So here is the example. I hope you people are able to see the screen. As soon as you click on that DOC file, the hackers directly access your complete laptop. So if he wanted to access your RDP, he can access with HRDP. HRDP is hidden RDP, hidden remote desktop protocol. Then maybe if you wanted to execute a particular file, maybe you wanted to see a webcam, maybe start a microphone, maybe you wanted to access any particular file, can go to file manager, can access your C drive like using a normal computer. So ultimately, you are operating a system, and in the back end, a hacker is operating your system without your knowledge. Sir, I wanted to tell you one thing. I am glad that I don't do networking on my laptop. Sir, I do use everything on my mobile phone. Congratulations and celebration. I hope that you are not understanding me, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? थोड़ा डर लग रहा है क्या? नहीं ना? Okay, let's move further. Sir, I am glad that I don't use laptop, sir. I use mobile phone. Sir, my all transaction happens with mobile phones, right? How many of you believe that your mobile phone is your personal? Put your hands up. I feel good. Oh, I would love to focus on some statistics over here. Try to understand, right? A normal mobile phone with 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of hard drive, one company, maybe consider Samsung, right, sells it for 18,000 rupees, whereas another company from China, Realme, Vivo, or any XYZ company, you can take any example, right? Another company selling the same configuration for 8,000 rupees. The difference is more than a double, right? I hope you're understanding. I hope you're getting my point. Yes or no? I was actually observing one point. I bought a new phone. At that time, the latest phone was 1.6. OnePlus 6. OnePlus is the Chinese company, right? Correct? Yes or no? OnePlus is the Chinese company, right? I bought a OnePlus 6 phone, and that phone was having a feature face unlock. Wow. Face unlock. That means as soon as I put the phone in front of me, it will get unlocked. That means the camera is 24/7 on. And it's a Chinese company. What is the guarantee that they are not taking my personal data? I do carry my mobile phone in this situation also. Front camera, back camera, 13 megapixel. You are understanding what I am trying to explain you. You are understanding very well what I am trying to explain you. OnePlus 6, 13 megapixel. And I am not saying about one particular company. It is possible with every damn company. Do not believe on my words. When you will go back to your home today, search about a term IMG rat, image rat, correct? I hope that in our life, we have received many times the messages with the blessings. Bhagwan Ganesha bless you. Send this message to next 10 people. Otherwise you will die. I don't know, many times I've died. I never forward it. I reborn again, die, reborn again. This is regularly. But now the question over here is, what is the advantage or what kind of advantage these people are getting in forwarding those messages, right? I would love to give you the advantage. I would love to tell you over here, the advantage is, as soon as you click on that image, congratulations and celebrations. And believe my words, it will not hack your mobile phone. It will hack your complete life. Sir, but how this can be possible? If someone can get access to my mobile phone, How someone can hack my complete life? Okay, let me give you with example, with proofs, everything over here. Allow me a few seconds. What I used to do is, currently we don't have that much of time to show you with a live demonstration, but I have some ready-made clients with me. In my older lectures, I have sent some images to one of my students. He clicked on that image and I have some data with me. Let me show you that data. Obviously, sir. Huh? Sir, just a second. Let me. Okay, so this is one of my application. I made this application. You will never get in ever anywhere in the market because I made it for demonstration. But similarly, there are n number of such kind of applications are spreading by the hackers. Correct? My application name is Veto. It's like a normal chat application, exactly same like your WhatsApp. Because whenever you install WhatsApp, it takes all the permissions from you. Permission for accessing the files, permission for managing the photos, permission for Bluetooth, permission for video, for mic, for everything, right? And now what can be possible if you give all this permission to all these applications? My real-time database. I really wanted to make one point very clear. My intention is not to teach you how to hack. My intention is just to let you understand that you are already hacked. So since from the morning till night, if I shout in front of you that you are hacked, you will not believe on it. That's why I'm showing you live practicals over here for everything, right? So let me go with any random email address. So, okay. So here I'll just go with device info. So this is the device info, country, email address, IMEI, IP address, network status, network type, provider, SIM card serial number. Just a single click on an image. Let me go with the call logs. So here are the call logs. And it gets updated always. Duration, number and all. Contacts, SMS. I have an option for geolocation. I'll go to geolocation. Let me even show you where this phone got hacked, right? So I'll just copy this and I'll paste on Google. So this phone got hacked at Government Engineering College, Nagpur. So maybe in one of my demonstration at this particular college, a person clicked on that image and I got the access. Now what I meant when I said that your phone is not hacked, your life got hacked. Basically, if you have noticed one thing, for every damn transaction, we do trust a lot on OTP. What do banks says? If you wanted to make a transaction, you need to provide an OTP. We trust an OTP, right? Even for Facebook, if I wanted to reset my password, we trust on OTP. What a hacker can do here, once an image clicked by you is easily done, right? Hacker is having your email address over there, correct? Now, hacker is having access to your mobile number. This is the phone number. I'll show you here. Hacker is having the access to the mobile number, correct? What I can do, I can simply take this email address, I'll go to facebook.com and I'll say, I forgot my password. Facebook will say, wait, I'll send you an SMS. As soon as you receive an SMS, in my panel, I have a column for SMS also, na? So as soon as you receive it, I'll receive on my panel, like this. I'll show you here. Transaction, your code is this. Simple, and it's all done. You think you are safe because of OTPs. Shit, sir. I believe I don't have to attend your lecture, sir. You're damn dangerous. It was better I was sleeping, sir. Why you wake us up? I hope you are understanding, right? This lecture will be continue for next 2 hours I am going to teach, right? Is that okay? Everyone is ready. Okay, let's come back to the solution and I'll wind up the session, right? I hope that I conveyed my point very well. Now, for some of you people, you might be thinking that you are secured by antivirus, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? What do hackers do before launching a virus into the market? We have some website like this, anti-scan, what is that? Anti-scan antivirus check website. What do hackers do here? They put a file. Okay, I do have one virus also here, or maybe this is again my virus. I'll put this file here. Just a second. I'll put this file here and I'll check for it. So what do people do here? They make the virus, they put the file on this antivirus check website. Error. Maybe this website is running down or what? Maybe I'll try with some other file. Okay, so maybe there is some error going on this website. Maybe you try it by yourself, antiscan.me or virustotal.com, right? So this kind of websites helps the virus developers to scan for their viruses. So before launching the virus, they scan their virus into the anti-check website and they scan for all the different antiviruses. Oh, quick hit detected. Oh, Avast detected. Then they do encryption in it, so that it will be FUD, fully undetectable. And once the virus becomes fully undetectable, then it is launched in the form of DOC or Excel file to you people. And as soon as you click on DOC, congratulations. All good, sir. Till the time the lecture was good, I understood that I can be hacked. Maybe I consider that I'm already hacked. Please tell us the solution. Please tell us the solution. I hope you wanted to learn about the solution. Yes or no? Now it's urgent. Sir, I'll share one more website with you. If you guys have time, please explore that website. Huh? The website name is Intellex. Intellex.io. Okay. So if you ever get a time for yourself, just go to this website Intellex.io. Okay. And search your email address over there. Sir, what will happen if I search my email address over there? Basically, if you are ever got hacked and your data is available on dark web, right? So you will get your password in clean text over here in this Intellex. It will simply, not only your email address, if you wanted to enter your now from that data you can hack, right? So this is basically a data breach search engine, which will tell you about the past. I'll show you. I made my own search engine also. I have my own data breach search engine. So I'm currently working on this as my startup, right? Where I'm working on data breach search engine, because that Intellex is by one company which is running by Russian, like some Russian guy, right? So that's next is going to be mine. So maybe if I search something like I wanted to search for Netflix, right? So I'll search Netflix, click enter, and here are the URL passwords, because your logs are getting sold out in dark web. I'll show you the logs also. I have logs. I'll show you the logs if you want. So here are the passwords openly, easily available. Nothing is personal. Nothing is personal. I'll come to the solution too. Here I can show you the logs. So these are the logs I have till May 2023. Maybe I'll show you one of the log. Maybe this log is from Dubai. So here if I can show you, just a second, I'll try with another log, this log. So here if I go with the password, because this is the detail from a particular machine. I have cookies, I have autofills, I have everything, including the processes which are running on your machine. If I have cookies, I can restore these cookies in my browser and I can directly access your account without your password, and I don't need that OTP also, two-factor authentication. Directly, easily available. So even I can show you this password. So here you can see. openly, easily available, like this. So this is, and I'm not saying that this can happen with you. I must say that this already happened with you. You all are already hacked. There are universities which are running in the dark web, calling it as a fraud university, scam university. Get a degree in scammer, be a scammer, something like that. I hope you are getting my point, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Perfectly fine. Now, some points to understand how you can be secured. First of all, you are going to be hacked because of Trojans and viruses, correct? So how can you secure yourself? Point number one, always use genuine Windows operating system. If you are using Windows operating system, use genuine. Don't go for the pirated version, correct? Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me? Perfectly fine. Second is, always use updated antivirus. If you are using Windows operating system, genuine softwares. Do not go for pirated version at all. And the best solution is switch to Linux operating system, because Linux is like open source operating system, free of cost, available, and much faster than Windows, and having less chances of getting impacted by viruses. Because majorly the world is using Windows. So the virus programmers or the hackers, they prefer to write the exploit for Windows. I hope you are getting my point. I hope you are understanding, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Switch to Linux operating system, and the best way to secure yourself is all about awareness. Be very cautious about each and every file you are opening on your system, whether it's your mobile phone or your laptop. Be damn cautious about it. If any kind of warning is coming, instead of ignoring that warning, better to check what that warning is saying. Is it related to security? Is it related to privacy? Is it related to my data? If it is, take another next step as soon as possible. Because you believe that your data is useless, maybe because you are not caring for your data, but your data is valuable and people are ready to sell out. I hope you got my point, right? So that's it for the day. That's it for this session. I hope you all enjoyed my session. I know you all have many queries, many questions related to my session. You can find me on Instagram or maybe on the dark web. That was good one, Ravi sir. So you can ping me on WhatsApp to, I do have many sites, but that's all done. Okay. You can send me a mail on my email address. It's me@maheshrakeja.com. Make sure that you don't send any document file to me, right? You can ping me over here for all your queries and questions. I hope that we are already running late by the time. So that's it for the day. I hope you all enjoyed the session very well. Thank you very much. It was great interacting with all of you. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mahesh, for a wonderful session. I request the organizers to come onto the dais and give a small token of appreciation. Did you all enjoy the session? Hopefully you are relieved you are not hacked. Yeah. Accept this small token of appreciation from the organizing team. Yeah. Big round of applause. Right.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mahesh and all the speakers of this day. And today's session is hereby ended, right? Let me share quick updates about tomorrow. Please make sure you are connected to your session in charge. Whoever presenting your papers tomorrow, make sure you get connected to the session in charge. And they would tell you about your RRM, right? That will be conducted tomorrow. See, we are taking the extra load to make you more comfortable, more convenient, right? So the session is officially closed, but you can have a lot of interactions and meet your friends. And if you have any queries about anything related to your research or any administrative answers if you require, you can stay back I'm staying back here for at least for next 2 hours, right? Thank you very much. I request all the organizing chairs to please stay back.